Hello again, everybody. A little late than ever. We're glad to be with you. Greg Zaffro, Scott Casper with you. This is the second session of wrestling. It's now underway at the 51st edition of the Ken Kraft Midlands as we come to you live from Evanston, Illinois, and a little bit difference in weather. 6, 8, 10 hours makes. It was a nice morning, and then we go outside and the ice is covered, so we're a little late getting back, and surely we appreciate you folks waiting for us, you wrestling fans out there. But I want to thank Tom Erickson, who's done an outstanding job working with Greg Zaffos. I know that Dan McCool and Steve Foster have enjoyed it as well, and we continue our coverage of the Midlands Championships. Greg, first thing I think we should probably do real quick, just give them the overall score as the team standings have been released. It's kind of an interesting championship so far.
Well, it is, and things are starting to tighten up. At the moment, Iowa is pulling itself out ahead, but the other teams are starting to bunch up now with only a couple points difference between them. So let's go through the top 10, and if Tom or Dan has any comments that they want to make, they can add in there to it. Tied for 10th is Eastern Michigan and Indiana with 19 points. Close ahead of them at number 9 is Northwestern at half a point higher, 19.5. Okay, at number 8 is Northern Iowa with 21 points. And then tied for 6th with 22.5 points is Columbia and Purdue. And we kind of predicted that Columbia was going to be pulling up there. They've had an outstanding tournament so far. Number 5, Wisconsin is pulling up strong there. We just saw Connor Medbury earlier in the heavyweights to have a great bout, and their team is doing really well at this point. Number 4, Michigan. Okay, Joe McFarland and his group doing a great job out there. Number 3, sort of unexpected, it is going to be Illinois, and that's because even though they were champions last year, they had a lot of injured wrestlers this year and didn't really bring a full team. So they're actually doing a pretty good job for the situation that they're in, and I think that Jim Heffernan should probably be happy with this, although I know he would like to win it like last year, but Iowa wasn't here last year. And number 2, Edinburgh, and with two number 1 seeds and number 1 ranked wrestlers in the country, and that it's not a surprise that they pulled themselves into second place. What is a surprise is that they still have 6 wrestlers in the championship round besides the 2 wrestlers who are ranked and seeded number 1. And then at number 1, way ahead by about 12 points, is Iowa with 46 points. They have all 10 of their wrestlers still in the championship round. So this could be if it continues this way, it could be a blowout. But we'll have to wait and see. Not all their wrestlers are really ranked number 1. So, who knows what's going to happen in this next round. Tom, what do you think about this? Okay, I'm not hearing you right at the moment. You might have to turn up your volume. Yeah, let's see.
Right here.
That's it.
Yeah, one of the things that jumps out, and you touched on it too, is Iowa with 10 guys in the championship bracket. Quarterfinal rounds are a huge round in the sense that every win here puts you into the semifinals, which you guaranteed place. That's 7 points.
Right.
If they even get half of those points, that's a 35-point jump that Iowa could see just by sending half of their 10 into the championship semifinals.
Right. And let's continue on with that, but let's tell our audience first what's going on right here. We have a consolation round going on here for the. Let me just pull it out here. Now remember, you can get your brackets on the website. We're going to tell you about that in a minute. But we're in the consolation rounds now. We have 8 mats going on with consolations right now. And this is session number 2, if you look at the bracket sheets of the consolation rounds. And they're going on right now, going quite rapidly, as we should say. So we're going to get back to taking a look at these teams. Anything else that jumps out at you, Tom, on the team scores at this point? I know for me, it's Maryland kind of hiding back there in 12th place with 18.5 points, but still 3 wrestlers who are seeded number 2 in the championship round. And just like you said, when you start getting those placing points out there, Maryland could make a big jump in this one.
Yeah, we talked about it. We follow, they go at 84 with Sheptok, 97 with Boley, and heavyweight Spencer Myers. That's 21 points.
Right.
You jump out on 21 points right off the bat. That's going to move you up the bracket. I honestly, not because I used to work there, it's Purdue. You look at Purdue, they're the only other team with 10 active wrestlers in the championship bracket. I mean, in the tournament, so to speak, point scorers. So even though in the backside of the bracket, it's much harder. You're only getting half a point for wins and things like that. Very difficult to climb up, but they still have 10 rounds in the fight, 10 guys in the fight. So that's a nice performance by the Boilermakers and stuff, but they're going to go head-to-head in one of these rounds, so they're going to lose one of their guys. But the other one, and like I say, we keep talking about is Columbia.
Right.
They jump out really big. In sixth place, can they maintain it? They got 8 guys going, 2 in the front side and 6 in the back side. That you got to tip your cap to those guys.
Right,
they're doing a phenomenal job.
Right, they made a statement last year at the Midlands that they were ready to go, and this year they're just proving that was not a fluke by doing a really great job. So
and the other one, staying in the Ivy Leagues is Brown.
Right.
We only went through the top 10, but here they are with 16 points. They got 3 guys in there, and 2 of those guys are seated. What kind of job Beckerman has done?
Right, in 1 year
at the Brown program.
Right, and another team that this is going to sound a little funny to you, but a little shout out, I would say, to Southern Oregon. An NAIA team or. And that I believe in that, and they brought 2 wrestlers, and they still have 2 wrestlers in the championships and the wrestleback rounds and stuff. So a good shout out to them, and let's see what happens.
Don't forget George Mason.
George Mason. We always want to put in a plug for Joe Russell, and he's got in 25th place with 7.5 points, but he still has a couple. He has 4 wrestlers in the wrestleback still, so hopefully he'll pick up a couple more points there. And for our good friend Orlando, who's been listening to our broadcast, I want to let you know that Augsburg is in 29th place with 5 points. So they still have 2 wrestlers in it, and when they get up there and wrestle Orlando, we'll let you know what's going on.
Augsburg's been a Division III power for many years. Them and Wartburg, they've had some great battles over the years. I call them I think they had the ice duel a few years back up there in northern Iowa, southern Minnesota. They had the ice duel.
I just noticed, I really wasn't paying attention, in terms of the overall field, but I just looked down and, sitting in 37th place is Boise State. They only got 1 guy.
Yeah, one guy.
JT Felix, their heavyweight, he's going to have a tough match coming in here tonight, in this round where he's going to have to go through Connor Medbury, who,
that could be fun. That'd be a fun match.
Greg and I really like Connor. I think I'm not going too far on the limb saying I think he can get in the finals and win this thing. But, JT Felix, that's going to be a great matchup, right there. And like I say, Boise State's just sitting in there in 37th place with 1 guy. So, kind of interesting. You like this. Missouri's got some of their redshirt people here. Ohio State's represented here. So, for a tournament it's supposed to have a down year, the Midlands is pretty well represented across the country by almost the entire Big Ten and teams across the nation. Pretty impressive.
Right. One of the things I want to mention so that you know is the biggest upset of the tournament so far, and we'll get the specs on it, but
49.
Darian Caldwell, seeded number 2, previous NCAA champion, a postgraduate out there. Even people were wondering whether he should be seeded number 2 or number 1. He was actually pinned in his last match. And
crazy.
If you can get me the specs on that,
Brian
Steve.
Lubbock from Wisconsin Badgers, your alma mater. That's probably why.
Right.
They're pretty tough. They only send tough people up to Wisconsin. We figured that. We learned that doing radio with you.
Now, unfortunately,
2 minutes and 15 seconds, by the way.
And unfortunately, that match took place in the other room. We mentioned, if you didn't listen to the earlier session, unlike previous Midlands tournaments that have had 8 mats going on here in the main arena where we could see everything going on, they have 6 mats here now and 2 mats in the room next door. That's due to NCAA rules, which now require more space between matches in a tournament. So there are 25% of the matches that are going on we are not seeing here nor getting the results until brackets are printed. And
that's what happened.
Yeah, and we're just as frustrated as you are with that, but it's nobody's fault from here, and we understand the rules of safety for the NCAA.
Yeah, that's right. So Darian Caldwell goes down. Will he continue to wrestle? Is he going to be in the wrestlebacks, or some of the post grads every once in a while? I've seen them; they just opt out.
They just go home, they're up in the bleachers with their wives and kids.
Take an earlier flight back to North Carolina.
Right.
Take their ball and go home.
Yeah. Okay. That happens often.
Yeah. So. Now, remember that we have the wrestlebacks going on right now. They're going on all over the place, and if
even up in the stands.
Right. And
that's hostile fans.
Those 2 ladies up there are really going at it. What can I say?
Same ones as last year.
We want to tell you, if you're just listening to us for the first time, how you can be in touch with us and get more information. 2 things. First of all, if you have any questions, comments, or requests from us, The only way to get in touch with us right now is through my personal email address, and that is simply greg@gregzafros.com, which is my name, which is a weird one. So I know the people listening this afternoon heard it too many times, but let me repeat it one more time. That's Greg, G-R-E-G, at Greg Zafros, all one word there, G-R-E-G, Z as in zebra, A, F as in Frank, R-O-S as in Sam.com. So greg@gregzafros.com. We had several requests in the first round, and we tried our best to fulfill those requests. The second thing is that I'm also on my website posting the brackets, and you can have the most up-to-date brackets. We're updating them about every 10 or 15 minutes now, thanks to Jeff Kreider over there at Kreider Tournaments, who's doing a great job of getting us the information.
They do a good job. They supply us with a whole bag of candy here, too. So.
And that's why you like them, I know.
That's why Tom Erickson and I switch places.
Right. Yeah, okay. I don't need any more.
Right, and now the way you get onto that is on my website. You simply go to gregzafros.com, just like I told you about the email address, GREGZAFROS.com, / brackets, plural, brackets.pdf, and you'll get the brackets, the same brackets we're looking at. When we update it for ourselves, we update it for you, so you can get all the results up until this round right now, and that which is going on, and just about 8 or 10 of the matches have been completed so far. So that's the best way to get in touch with it.
And you can personally comment on Steve Foster at sayonlynicethings.com. Mm-hmm. Okay. Or no, sayonlynicethings.org.
Saynicethings.org.
.org.
I used to use that for some of my teachers in high school.
That's right.
Okay, so again, we'll be looking for requests. My email box is open right now. If you've got a request for anybody in the consolation round, you can let us know. And we just got a request from Fabiola Luna, who's been in touch with us before. We thank you very much. Who's interested in about 380, fellas? Can somebody look that one up and let me know what we can do with that?
380 is going to be.
We're at 387 already, and that might be already in the other room. What do you think?
I would imagine that's back in the other room, and that's Avery Garner from Utah Valley and
Filligam
from Adams State, unattached from Adams State. Is that Division II?
Yeah.
Utah Valley just moved up in Division I.
Yeah, Utah Valley's D1.
Yeah, so Fabiola, I'm disappointed to have to tell you that we probably won't get the results any faster.
I think it is in the other room.
Yeah, and it's probably taken place already because it'd be one of the first.
You want me to go check?
I'll tell you what. We have a listener here who wants to know. So I'll be back. We're going to send Steve Casper. Don't stop at the concession stand. Just go get the information and come back. So you asked for it, you got it, Fabiola, and we're here to do what we can for you. So again, you're listening to Takedown. This is Greg Zafros along with Tom Erickson and my good friend Steve Foster, who's heading out to the hinterland there to get results. A lot of good wrestling that we've had so far. It's been a good tournament, as it always is. A lot of good matchups with the number 1 and number 2 seeds. So if those pan out, we're going to have some great matches in the semifinals and the finals. So we're at the. Are we up to 133 pounds yet on those consolations, Tom? Or
we got 49 matches at 149.
Oh, that's right. Some of those are jumping up from pigtails.
So we're kind of running around. We're at the end of 33, like right here on mat number 5. We got a young man from Purdue up, Alex Griffin up 6'3", about 390. But other than that, everything else is going to be all the way down to 141 weight class.
Why is it that you always know where the Purdue wrestlers are?
I don't know.
I don't know. You haven't figured that one out yet.
I'm working on that.
Okay, well, we're going to see. Okay, we're going to look around if there's anything exciting going on. We know we have a lot of listeners from Iowa, and one of the problems here is that Iowa doesn't have any wrestlers in the consolation round, except that maybe a couple of their unattached wrestlers are here, but their 10-point getters are all still in the championship round, so we won't have many of those matches.
They got Brody Grothus over John Fay of Illinois, and Grothus is up actually 3-0. Russell Fahey from Illinois over there on mat number 3. So some of the guys who aren't representing, the University of Iowa as a point getter are still doing pretty well, grinding on the backside. When you lose early in those first couple rounds, it's a long grind coming through the consolation bracket. So this journey's just getting started for some of these guys. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's check and see quickly about the first and second seeds and see how they're doing. So far in 125 pounds, we do have Jesse Delgado and Gerard Garnett of the Bison Wrestling Club, formerly of Virginia Tech, on track to meet in the finals. They're the first and second seed. Over at 133, A.J. Shop, the number 1 seed, and Tony Ramos of Iowa, A.J. Shop of Edinburgh. They're on track still, both of them in it. Okay, we just had an update on the brackets I'll be putting up in a few minutes. 141, Michael Port going strong, and Rick Durso, we had a request on him for that. Molly, I'm going to ask Tom to look up about 389, which might be going on right now. We're going to see if it's in here. We have 388 and 386 going, so Molly, we're going to check that out.
Actually, I 389.
Okay, while they're doing that, I'll continue on here. At 149, Jason Surtsis and the number 1 seed is still there, and as we mentioned to you, Darian Caldwell, just got pinned in the last round, so he is out. And we'll have to see how that bottom part of that bracket goes. But the number 1 seed, Jason Surtsis, is still in there. Anything you found on that match yet? 389?
Well, that must be somebody emailing in from Indiana, because that's Eric Roach and Neil Malloy, both from Indiana. I believe Neil Malloy is redshirting for the Hoosiers this year, but honestly, they're probably in the other gym, because we got all the 380s in here, 384, 88, 85, 87, 86, and 90. So, man, I'm sorry to tell you, they're probably in the back gym, and if we could get a hold of Steve, which I don't know if we can, kind of scope that out for you.
Yeah, we'll check it out and see, but we'll let you know, Molly, and of course you can always download the brackets in about 10 minutes or so in that match. If it is over with, we'll probably be on that bracket. Over at 157, we have number 1 seed Derek St. John on track to go ahead, and so is Nick Bracetta. Both, Nick Bracetta won this thing 2 years ago. Derek St. John won it last year.
Yes.
And so you have 2.
As well as the NCAA championship last year.
So you have two Midlands champions there who may go into the finals. At 165, Stephen Monk, Steve Foster's favorite wrestler, is on track to meet the number 2 seed, Nick Moore of Iowa. Derek Monk is from North Dakota State, so we're on track there. So far, all the number 1 seeds. At 174, Mike Evans of Iowa, the number 1 seed, is in there. And Hayden Zilmer is still in from North Dakota State. It's kind of nice to see a high seed like that for a team like North Dakota State moving up to Division I.
Roger Kish, Kish, former
Minnesota wrestler, great wrestler for Minnesota.
Took over that program several years ago and he's doing a great job. And then, then we got up in 184 and we kind of come up into Maryland's trifecta, and the first one's going to go number 1 Ethan Lofthouse is going to face Jimmy Sheptock, from Maryland in the first one. Mario Gonzalez from Illinois, kind of had a 5-2 and 8-3 win at the number 1 seed at 197, but I don't think I'm comfortable with those matches. I mean, you like to win, and you know what, in the books are a win, you moved on, but a little shaky, then he's going to end up facing, likely the number 2 seed Christian Boley's still sitting there in the bottom half of the bracket as the number 2 seed, so looking for that matchup. And then finally at heavyweight, you got Iowa has Bobby Telford, wrestling really well, cruising right along. His last one was an 10-2 decision. And then you have Spencer Myers, who had to go into an overtime with Edrin from UW Whitewater and won in the tiebreak. So Maryland's guys, as we talked about earlier, all on course to get to the finals, still alive in that top half of the bracket.
Okay, we did get another request from Ross. Ross, thanks for letting us know here. He inquired about the match at 125 at Peters versus Gilman, and that is coming up. That is match number 444. We'll have this round of consolations, and sometimes they throw in that next round of consolations as well before they go to that quarterfinal round. So that one is coming up. I'll tell you what, that might be a while. Why don't you remind us again a little bit later, and we'll key in on that one for you. So thanks for letting us know, Ross. We'll do the best that we can. But do remind us again, because we do have a lot going on here. Okay, let's see who else is out there. Anybody out there now that a lot of good wrestling going on out there. These guys know that they have to keep winning or they're out of it here. So, and there we have, is that Grothus over there? No, we have another Illinois wrestler coming out over there. Let's see who that is, and that's about 395. 395. since we're in the state of Illinois, whenever a Northwestern wrestler or an Illinois wrestler comes up, we like to make mention of it, first of all, because they contribute so much to this tournament, especially Northwestern, the host.
Number
team.
5 seed Zach Brunson from Illinois, wrestling Paul LaGuerre from Harvard.
Okay. And unfortunately, that match is partially blocked out by a scoreboard, which is a problem we have every year, but we'll do the best we can. And we have a Wisconsin wrestler out there, see at 394, and Wisconsin moved up to 5th place in this tournament and doing a great job. And let's see what we have there at 394. That's the match before that last one.
394, that's TJ Rochelle versus Brandon Nelson from Purdue.
Okay, so it's my school against yours.
Is TJ's the brother of Kyle Rochelle, who used to wrestle there?
Well, I had to presume that. I have, but you know, you can never tell. I always had that problem with all the other Zafroses that were in the tournaments, and that sometimes 4 or 5 of them, and that I didn't know any of them, but whatever. So it's a problem. We have a Virginia Tech wrestler out there right now, and he's just gotten taken down. That's about 401. Let's just check and see who that is out here, and just gets an escape. Let's pick that one up. It's about number 401. As we mentioned, last year, Virginia Tech came in 2nd, only 1 point behind the University of Illinois, so we're giving them the credit that they deserve this year. We're going to look for about 401.
That's Mastriani, Sal Mastriani versus Jake Gingrich from Illinois.
Okay.
Mastriani from Virginia Tech versus Jake Gingrich
I think it's like Gingrich or something.
Gingrich,
a little bit different than Newt Gingrich. But let's check and see.
Yep, that's it right there, 401.
Yeah, okay.
Right here in front of us. And Gingrich is out in front 2-1 early in the first period. You know, got 2 minutes left, so long way to go on that one, and we'll definitely kind of touch base on that one again as we go through.
Yeah, and Mastriani is not wrestling unattached like Nick Bracetta is at 157, so they do have a possible point getter in there for Virginia Tech. And again, now the score is up to 4-1 in favor of Gingrich, Jake Gingrich from the University of Illinois.
Over there on mat number 1, we have Brandon Sorensen from Iowa wrestling unattached, and he is facing Kurt Delia from Ryder. And he's actually winning that match 6-0 as he's over Kurt Delia.
And I think it's going to be 8-0 now. Yeah, it is. They had a takedown for Sorensen. We did a play-by-play on his match just about an hour ago or so, an hour and a half ago, right in front of us, and Sorensen did a nice job, not wearing any kind of well, he's got a uniform on that says Iowa down the side, but it's blue and red, so it must be a high school state uniform or something like that.
The Federation, amateur, you know, that they wrestle in Fargo.
Yeah.
The Iowa team out in Fargo.
Yeah, so a beautiful uniform, but nothing like the black and gold of Iowa. Okay, it's still 4-1 for the match in front of us. Mastriani going against Gingrich. Mastriani of Virginia Tech and Gingrich of Illinois. And I have to say that Gingrich is putting a hurting on Mastriani at the moment. But we've got 27 seconds to go in just the first period. So there is time for a turnaround, but we'll see what happens. But, oh boy, as I said that now, Gingrich is just putting a hurting on Mastriani. I mean, he's got him wrapped up and
legs stretched out,
he's got
wrist trapped.
Yeah, he's got both legs in. He's
side.
Stretching him out. That's man, he is just pulling him and pushing his head into the mat. He's not doing anything, unfortunately. Now he's putting his elbow on his head. I would, if I were the referee, well, the time just ran out at the end of that first period. He just put an elbow into the back of the head of Mastriani, and if I were the referee, I would at least, maybe not a caution, but at least say
potentially
something
dangerous.
About it. Yeah, well, at least
say, hey, let's
say
be a little cleaner over there.
Yeah, right. I mean, we don't need that kind of wrestling around here, and you don't need that to win either. So, you know, it's good for everyone all around. They start the second period both in the standing position. Now there's a 7-1 lead for Gingrich on that, so it's a little bit. Oh, and he's going to get another takedown. That's 9-1 for the Illinois wrestler. So let's move on and see how Sorensen's doing over in the far mat. It looks like he's up by a score of 14-3. So we've got a couple of blowouts right in front of me here. How are we doing over on those other mats?
Well, Rochelle and Nelson going after 2 periods. It's 5-3 Nelson. with 51 seconds riding time. So he's looking to turn the corner, getting over on some riding time as he starts on top in the third period. Down at the end, we're looking at match number 395, which is LaQuarrie and Brunson, the Illinois wrestler, and that's the one where I'm semi-blocked. I think Brunson, who was the number 5 seed, is up 5-0 down on mat number 6. And okay, that's Zach Brunson against Paul LaQuarrie from Harvard.
Okay, now we're hoping that Orlando's still listening here, because over on mat number 3 we have about 400, and that is Will Keeler of Augsburg, and he is wrestling Justin Studenmeyer of Brown. So we have a vested interest in both. Studenmeyer of Brown, we've talked with Todd Beckerman, the new coach there, and wishing him good luck in his matches. And Will Keeler, is it Keeler? Yeah, Keeler sounds, it looks like, and that of Augsburg. And we have our fan Orlando out there who asked us to make mention of that match. Right now, let's check the score. It's 1-0 in favor of, we're going to have to check that because the uniforms are similar. Let's see which. In the
meantime, we got Gingrich just closed out his match with Mastriani with a tech fall. Yeah. 17-1 in the second period.
Yeah, he had a 3-point move just as we stopped talking about that, and he was blown away with it. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. Okay, Augsburg is the red wrestler over there, so that means that Augsburg, you'll be real happy to know, Orlando, that the Augsburg wrestler is leading by a score of 1-0 in the third period with 1:18 to go. We'll keep working on that one and let you know what's going to happen here because it's just a minute to go.
The match between Nelson and Rochelle on mat number 5 is 5-4 Nelson. Looks like Nelson's going to kind of seal the deal here with the takedown, a drop, takedown, and no points. He got the takedown, so he's going to end up kind of moving ahead on this one, 7-4. So it looks like he should close that one out at 149 right there, mat number 5. Oh, that was a pretty carry. Who was that?
That's the Indiana wrestler right here in front of us. Yes. Let's check that out. That's about 409. You have to skip a couple weight classes to get to it. It looks like it's Davis and LeBlanc. It's LeBlanc, Ryan LeBlanc of Indiana, and he's wrestling Jake Davis of Eastern Michigan. And LeBlanc is really going to town now. The score is only 2-0, but he's kind of running roughshod over Davis right now. Davis needs to get out a little bit and start doing some wrestling, but boy, he's really being pressed down into the mat. Okay, we only have 8 seconds to go, and it looks like the wrestler from Augsburg is going to win this one, Will Keeler.
Actually, he's losing.
I thought he was the green wrestler.
Brown is in the green.
No kidding.
The Augsburg Aggies, is that right?
Yep.
So that's Brown on top.
Well, then I stand corrected on that.
That's a first, Greg. That doesn't happen very often. So
no, this is my second.
I remember your other mistake that about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry about that. And Orlando, you'll have to forgive me.
No, those singlets are close.
Yeah, the color was it.
Are very close. You're kind of looking for logos. We are absolutely 180 degrees away from that mat, so that's a little bit tough. And
that's the mat in the other time zone, as we call it. That one's over there in the other time zone. So, yeah. So.
Okay, let's look at match 409, which is right in front of us here. That's one we mentioned you before. That was Jake Davis of Eastern Michigan and Ryan LeBlanc of Indiana. Right now, it looks like LeBlanc is ahead by a score of 7-1, and we're still in the first period with a minute to go. So I mentioned to you earlier, just a few moments ago, actually, that LeBlanc is kind of running roughshod over him, and Davis is having trouble getting his face off the mat. And,
he's got his head buried.
Yeah,
that's a bad position to be.
He's not made a move yet, and you can't call him for stalling necessarily. I mean, he's just being run roughshod over.
7-1, 42 seconds ago, just first period.
Right.
So LeBlanc is just putting a big arm on him, most definitely.
He's really riding him tough. He's got a tight waist and trying to get a tight waist tilt here.
Here's a little side note. Over there on mat 1, you got two Ivy League guys going at it. Ben Haas, wrestling unattached, for Lehigh, is trailing Judd Ziegler from Princeton. Well, you know, how many times you're going to see that? You know, Lehigh and Princeton, Harvard, Princeton, stuff like that.
Well, so. we have said that. I mean, you're absolutely right. That's the thinking coming into this. But we have to say that we're so impressed with how Princeton is doing this year.
Yeah.
It's great to see them coming back up. Some of you might be a little bit too young to know, but there have been a lot of famous people who were wrestlers for Princeton, and in just a minute we'll talk about them. One that comes to mind is Don Rumsfeld, former Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, I know Donald.
For better or for worse.
We've had him on Takedown Radio, him and his security guards.
That's right. So.
About the same time we had Dennis Hastert on, him and his security guards. They all come with bodyguards, you know, it's really interesting. Scott says, hey, go get interviews with those guys, will you? I didn't know they just do foot or hand signals and I get taken out, you know. These guys are packing heat, so I got them on the air somehow.
Oh, we're getting a reversal over there by LeBlanc on Davis. He's getting a couple more points, up to 9-1 now, and again he's going right back to working on Davis. And I know exactly how Davis feels. I don't know how LeBlanc feels with that, but
he's feeling better.
I've been there many a time, and we have 3 back points, and I think we're hitting a potentially dangerous call there. So there's 3 more points. And
that explains it then. I wondered what that was. You got Matt burns, I see, on your cheeks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
back in the day, and something up on the forehead.
You thought it was rosy cheeks, but it's Matt. It's Matt.
I thought it was the temperature outside, but some Matt burns.
Yeah. Okay, we've got an escape there by Davis. He's got himself a second point, so the score is now 12-2. There's 1 minute and 25 seconds to go, but only in the second period. So we're well on the way for a tech fall here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, LeBlanc's doing good. He's got by 10. Look at the riding time for LeBlanc.
Yeah. Now you have to remember, LeBlanc is the number 8 seed, so he is a seeded wrestler.
Sure,
he's expected to do well. So, and Davis is from Eastern Michigan, is not a seeded wrestler. But again, it's wrestling. You can never tell what's going to happen.
Oh, well, we've seen some upsets already.
Yeah. So. How are we doing on the far side there? About 4-3. That was that Haas-Ziegler match. And that's still pretty close. It's 7-5. Who's winning? The red wrestler is winning that.
Ziegler's winning 7-5, I believe.
Okay,
red.
Ziegler's the Princeton wrestler, and there's a point
for Haas.
There.
Or
it's now 8-5.
Wow. Haas didn't keep him down very long, and look at the riding time, 1:32 for minute 32 for Judd Ziegler from Princeton.
You look right over across on mat number 6, and you're going to have Gobo from Harvard. Devin Gobo from Harvard, who trails Ramon Santiago from Ryder 3-2. And Santiago is dropping down there as a number 6 seed, so he got upset by somebody on the backside. But
I remember that.
Like we talk about, and I know it's early in the consolation rounds, but we're talking about the Harvards, the Princetons, and Lehigh. We give them a little bit more credit, but these kids are coming along. These programs have come a long way, and they're putting great bodies out there. We confuse an Aggie and the Browns. The Augsburg and Brown singlet down there. Young man for Brown wins a match. So they're not only on the backside, they're winning matches on the backside.
Right, and it's hard to distinguish. I mean, it used to be that the dominant teams came in and just beat up on everybody, but that's not happening here, except this match right in front of us right now, which is 14-3.
Santiago, remember, he lost to Josh Snook from Maryland by a point. 6-5, I think it was.
Okay, at the end of the second period on that match, mentioning it many times because it's happening right in front of us and a little gruesome. We've got Ryan LeBlanc up 14-3 over Jake Davis of Eastern Michigan. And that's the end of the second period, so we've got one more period. Now I know exactly how Jake Davis feels out there. And
trying to find out if Ryan LeBlanc's related to Joe LeBlanc, an All-American from Wyoming. Yeah, he did end up going there and coaching, but I don't know if that.
We'll have to grab one of those coaches. I'll reach down and grab Nick Simmons and stuff.
Like Tom Erickson said earlier, it's spelt the same, I believe. So
looking over there, Matt, to another Big Ten battle. I know we're up here in Northwestern Big Ten country, but you got Frank Cousins against Frank Cousins from Wisconsin and Pat Robinson from Purdue. It's not like those guys aren't going to see each other a few more times during the season, Big Tens and stuff, if they end up having to be the starters over there.
Yeah, that's going to happen, I promise you. That will happen.
Another little surprising one straight across the mat from that. On mat number 5, bout number 402, you got a young man from Princeton leading 2-1 over a young man from Purdue as well. So these guys, you know, talk about these Ivy League guys. They came here to wrestle. You know, they're not. They're not playing.
Yeah, and Ziegler over on mat number 1 from Princeton is also winning. He's up now by a score of 11-7. Let's confirm the colors on that to make sure that that's the case,
red.
That's the Princeton
Red
wrestler.
Princeton,
Yes, it is. So we've got 2 Princeton wrestlers out there right now winning their matches. And one of the Ziegler match that we started first to tell you about is already in the 3rd period with a minute to go.
Yeah, 11-7, so a lot of points scored there. LeBlanc in on another shot here against Davis of Eastern Michigan. And LeBlanc kind of having his way. 48 seconds going to 3rd period. 3 minutes, 9 seconds of riding time for LeBlanc, who leads 16-5. So a big lead there for the Indiana Hoosier for the Big Ten.
Frank Cousins jumped out 2nd period. He's got a 2-1 lead over Pat Robinson from Purdue over on mat number 2. Looking down at mat number 6, you know, bout number 405 at 165. You know, got Gabo and Santiago are tied 5-5 in the middle of the 2nd.
Santiago got beat by Snook earlier from Maryland 6-5, so he's been in some tight tussles here. Roman Santiago from Ryder. I don't know if he's been riding like the other Ryder guys, but we made comments earlier. The Ryder guys were getting a lot of riding time, so I don't know if that's the case, though, with Roman so much. Blanc trying to maybe get another one at the end. Maybe not. Davis fought it off. Well, too bad for him. He didn't fight a bunch of them off at the beginning, but
okay,
big win.
Over on mat number 1, that match we've been bringing to you about Ziegler of Princeton going against Haas of Lehigh, and the Princeton wrestler wins that one by a score of 14-7.
Wow, doubled the points.
Yep. Another victory for Princeton, and then we're only at the end of the 2nd period in mat number 5, but the Princeton wrestler was ahead at the time, but now it's tied 2-2 with only 5 seconds left in the 2nd period.
Escape for Princeton, tied it up 2-2. We'll see who gets choice. Red gets choice, so Princeton gets choice.
Yeah, just so that you know, this match,
taken down.
402 that we're talking about, is at the 157-pound weight class, so that you can put these matches into perspective.
Right here in front of us on mat number 4, you got an all-Illinois match, so to speak, with Matt Nora from the University of Illinois and Connor McMahon from Southern Illinois University. So you got 2 kids from the university level in the same states going at it right here in front of us. Yeah, that's a good thing to see. You know, with Southern Illinois, previously a Division II power way back in the day with Larry Kristoff, had to sit out a couple years and now are eligible at the Division I level for the national tournament. So they're now a fully funded Division I, I don't know about funded, I'm sorry, a fully functional Division I program now and can qualify for the national tournament.
Right, and if history is any guide, they'll be able to pull in people to go down there and wrestle for them, just like Larry Kristoff, I believe Terry Finn, and some of these other Olympians that we had who wrestled there in the past.
Callahan still leading Kissel there from Purdue on mat number 5, match number 413. Kissel, there's been other Kisselers coming through Purdue. Are they related?
Yes, they're brothers.
They are brothers.
Yes, A.J. Kissel, we had him at 84-97, and Pat comes in, but you know, as I look at Pat Kissel over there, I think he's got more tape on him than he's got uniform.
Yeah, he didn't need a singlet, did he?
He's got his back. And
got a lot of it.
Well, you like to see that. You know, you like to see a kid get after it and stuff at 74. You know, like you said, at Callahan's winning a match by a point, but you know, we talked earlier, he's dictating. He's still going to go out and try to get a takedown, seal the match. You know,
smartest way to go.
Yeah. How do you lose when you're scoring points?
Okay, here over on mat number 1, Princeton wrestler won that. They've got another match out there right now, and they've got an Iowa wrestler out there, Alex Meyer, going against Mike Kirby of Eastern Michigan. And this is the first Iowa wrestler wearing an Iowa uniform that we see. Oh, we just seen a face grab there.
This is going to be painful.
That should be an illegal call.
You got to watch that. You can only go for the chin, I believe.
Yeah. And that was
grabbing of the eyes or nose.
Yeah, that's Kirby of Eastern Michigan just grabbing across the face of Meyer, and the referee was on the backside, didn't quite see that.
Yeah.
Can't fault him for that. You can't be at all places at all times. But that was not very sportsman type wrestling. And we got an escape there by the Iowa wrestler that now makes the score 3-2 in favor of the Iowa wrestler.
That's the Caldwell kid again from.
That's Cody Caldwell?
Yeah, from Northern Iowa. Yeah,
oh,
from
okay.
Northern Iowa.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not Kirby, but Cody Caldwell.
He's number 5 seed, so he got beat.
He needs to win this thing.
Yeah, he needs to get going.
He's got to get some points for Northern Iowa, and he's up 3-2.
I think he's probably
Terrell's 3-2.
Little bit upset in the position that he's in, and kind of taking it out on poor Alex Meyer. Even though actually I think it is illegal. You're not able to.
Yeah, you got to watch it. So. You can push on the chin, correct, to kind of get you.
Yes.
I've been in those positions, getting pinned. You got to push on the chin.
Okay, we have an injury timeout over on mat number 4, and it's Matt Nora of the University of Illinois. The trainer's out there, the referee's out there, Jim Heffernan is out there, and their trainer's out there as well to check him out. They're working on his knee. They just have the score. We don't have the scores because the scoreboard switch over to the injury time when that's
trying
occurring.
to walk it off here.
At 74, that match we were watching with Callahan led the whole way, and then Kissel with the late takedown.
Purdue.
Yes, take the win away. So Kissel comes from behind to go ahead and clip Callahan from Princeton down here on mat number 5.
Pat's brother's name again was AJ Kissel. Sure,
he was
good.
He was a large guy, and he was very good. In fact, I mean, he was the captain of the team, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was the captain of the team. I remember.
Real physical specimen.
Yeah,
he could explode and win.
He's hurt here down number
I see Illinois.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's defaulted. He's defaulting.
That's it.
Nora's defaulting right here. I don't know, something's wrong. He's pulled something or other. He got switched and he just stopped wrestling altogether. So he's going to move on right through here, and that's Connor McMahon from Southern Illinois is going to get a default win over Matt Nora from Illinois.
Okay, well, I want to thank Jim Hall for contacting us at my email, greg@gregzafros.com, and a question that people have asked, we have asked, and he says, we're talking about Ryan LeBlanc right now. He says, Ryan is from New York. He's from Morrisville Eaton High School. Brother Paul was 3rd at Division III for Sonny Cortland.
Wow.
He doesn't think there's any relationship with Joe. Well, Jim, thanks very much on that. We appreciate that.
Because I think Joe really was born and raised in Wyoming. I think he was a Wyoming kid. So New York and Wyoming, last I checked my geography, they're little ways, a couple miles apart from one another.
Right. Okay.
A couple time zones.
This match ended here. It had the medical timeout, the injury timeout.
And they're being replaced by Luke Sheridan, the number 10 seed from Indiana, versus Joe LaManna from Illinois.
Match number 420.
You got another Big Ten match coming up, going off right here, and the number 10 seed Luke Sheridan.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a lot of Big Ten showdowns here at the Midlands. So, trying to picture, is there a Big 12 team here today? Or
well, Missouri had a wrestler here.
Unattached, but they're
SEC.
They're the MAC.
Actually, wait, wrestling is in the MAC.
Missouri anymore. Yeah.
Wrestling competes wrestling-wise through the MAC tournament.
But the rest is
and the football
SEC.
Goes through the SEC. Yes.
That's almost confusing, but those stuff happens. So, but Missouri had just won the Big 12s in the wrestling as well, and then they opted out and took off for another conference. So.
Yeah, I sent Brian Smith, I had to send him an email, and I said, hey, Matt, congratulations, you beat my old alma mater.
Yeah, that's right.
The last year you're in the
Missouri
Big 12, you win it, and then you get out of Dodge.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, take off, win and leave.
Nice ankle.
Okay, we're going to got an ankle pick here by the Indiana wrestler in about 420 that we were just talking about, and that was, who was that?
Potentially dangerous.
Luke Sheridan.
Luke Sheridan, gets that takedown right at the end. He leads
match
now
420.
by 2-1.
He's in the red.
2-0, excuse me.
So Steve, you went over to the other gym. How's it looking? I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All the matches are all, they're what you saw were done. But
two Purdue wrestlers over there wrestling each other. They didn't get their names. They were just finishing and walked in, and there's two Boilermakers.
I think that was Lawrence and Sabatello at 141.
Probably was. Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Well,
who's the taller of the two?
Nick Lawrence.
Nick Lawrence won then, because the taller of the two won. So he was trailing right up until the end, and then Lawrence ended up winning. That's taller of the two, the Boilermakers. So
Sabatello's from Streamwood, not too far away from here.
Okay.
Did we get that?
3A state champ.
No, we didn't.
Did we get that?
I asked people at the table and everything. Did all that and got no results that we needed.
And who were we looking for on that one?
I'll go back in my research here. I had it circled. So
was that for Fabiola? I believe it was Fabiola
that
we had
Fabiola.
on that.
Yeah, sure was.
Well, that was about 380. Was that it?
Yeah, against Garner of Utah Valley.
Yeah, filling game.
Utah Valley.
Yeah, I think Fabiola's with Adams State. I think she's in Adams State.
Philly game. Yeah, unattached. She's wrestling unattached for Adams State.
Okay. Well,
yep, didn't get it, but we'll listen for it. Should come over. It'll eventually get printed out for us.
Yeah.
In time.
And if we find it in our next round of brackets that we get, we'll look for it. And in case you haven't downloaded them, Fabiola will say it over the.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to download them here maybe before we even get them, unless we get it downloaded to us. By the time the stuff comes print to us, print's always a little slower than electronic. So Indiana gets another takedown here in front of us.
Time for Alex Meyer to get a little payback on Coney Caldwell from Northern Iowa.
Yeah, that's right.
He had the legs set, and he was kind of cranking away, even though he's still trailing. No, actually, Alex Meyer is winning.
He's 8-4. Yeah.
Actually, not winning, won the match. 8-4, right? 10 points could take him to 9-4.
9-4, wow.
Yeah, he took a little early pain, but came back with the win.
Tough.
So you lost the battle, won the war in that
Tough
case.
tournament for Caldwell. It's been tough for the Northern Iowa Panthers.
He's a number. He comes in as a number 5 seed, and he's out.
He's gone. So yeah,
he's a 1-2 here, and as a number 5 seed.
2 in barbecue for Cody Caldwell, and then Darian Caldwell. That might have been 2 in barbecue, unless he keeps coming back. I hope he does personally. I mean, I'd like to watch him wrestle just for entertainment's sake.
Right. Yes, he's so explosive. He's so
I'd like
fun
to
to
see
watch.
him. I mean, I gotta believe he got caught, but congratulations to the young man that pinned him.
Well, it's not like he didn't catch other people during his career.
Exactly.
That was
sure.
That was it. He
was famous for that.
Yeah. Never count him out.
Might have been a little Payback Incorporated.
We wrestled in a set of duels when I was at Purdue. We went out to the ACC Challenge where we had 4 ACC duels, and we had Jake Pataxel.
Oh, well, against Darian Caldwell. Oh, but that was fun, actually.
Oh, they flipped, flopped, and turned each other for the first period. And then
scorekeepers.
Darian Caldwell caught him. Man, I hate to say catch. It's not catch.
Sure,
They put him in a cradle and pinned him in the second period.
Did he really? Yeah, wow. After they probably
so explosive. I think they scored like 15 points in the first half.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can imagine.
But Taxel was such ungodly grip. I think his fingers were an extra inch long, and then you grabbed onto you just like he wrapped around your wrist.
Yeah, apple crusher almost.
Okay, about 4:22.
Danny Hodge.
4:22 has just started over there. I don't know if you mentioned it or not. That's Kepke, Jeff Kepke of the University of Illinois, and Philip Joseph, or Joseph Phillip, whichever one you wanted to go with, I guess, from Eastern Michigan.
Right. Match 422 down there. Kepke and Philip Joseph, Eastern Michigan, and Kepke is from Illinois, so you got a Fighting Illini down there, trying to score some points. I don't know if he's a team score winner only. Philip Joseph is the 8th seed. Kepke is not seeded for Illinois, so I don't know if he's a point winner or not, or earner. There's a couple pairs of wrestlers run into each other over there. Mat number 2, mat number 1. The wrestlers all got to know each other. A little bit of colliding going on. We got Illinois and Indiana still down here. Match number 420 with Indiana still leading.
Yeah, there was just a 1-point escape there, so now 4-2, a little bit closer than it was before.
Yeah.
But
LaManna, is that what we're saying that? Joe LaManna?
Yeah,
from
LaManna against Sheridan.
Yeah, LaManna's yet to try. Yeah, and sure enough, Sheridan gets the takedown. LaManna's keeping it close enough. He's getting some of the escapes, but he's yet to show us that he can take Sheridan down. Sheridan from Indiana.
Yeah, Sheridan's
Hoosier gets another takedown.
Right, Sheridan is the 10th seed, He's got that forearm pulled underneath. What do we got? We got oh, that was the end of the second period.
That's
six to 2.
6-2.
Score right now, and Lamana takes, Sheridan of Indiana takes the down position for the third period.
And Nick Simmons, he's in the corner here coaching Sheridan, the East Lansing Strangler.
Yeah,
he told me he's got a little Strangler coming.
Yeah,
did you hear that?
Wow.
Oh,
he's
really?
got a little boy, yeah. He said, what's his name? You know his name? He said, yeah, Little Strangler.
Okay.
That's what he told me earlier. So, Nick Simmons.
Got down there on mat number 3, got a hometown guy. Home team is Mitch Sliga, wrestling from Northwestern, wrestling Jacob Berkowitz. I think it just says NU. I don't know, Northern Illinois or
whatever. NU's Northwestern.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it will be.
Both Northwestern?
NU,
well,
yeah, it's
it
going
looks
to be.
Like it.
Yeah.
They're both
Wildcats.
Yep.
2 Wildcats hooking it up. Well, we had a couple Boilermakers going at it.
Both unattached.
A little bit ago against each other. So
Sliga's out 2-1, but Berkowitz is in on the leg. So Sliga a little bit of trouble here. Let's see how he gets it. And he gave it up. He gave it up 3-2. So it's 3-2.
Big takedown there.
Midway through the first period, so it's not necessarily a panic. Then here we go, Sheridan.
Wow, Sheridan's
Lamana on his back, so there's 2. That's going to be a 5-point play.
Yeah, he's got 9-2. It should go up to 12-2 in just a minute. 56 seconds to go in the third
Lamana
period.
was keeping it in striking distance there for quite a while, but this is going to be asking a lot here with the amount of time and his inability really to get a takedown. He just really hasn't shown us that he can take Sheridan down.
Right, and the referee just put up the 3 points that we were talking about. Let's make it 12-2 with 45 seconds to go in the third period. So we have an injury timeout on that one, so let's shift on over and see what was going on over there at match number 22. That's Kepke of Illinois. Is that right? Kepke of Illinois going against Philip Joseph of Eastern Michigan. Right now the score is 2-0. That would be in favor, I'm sure, of Eastern Michigan because they're green.
Yeah.
They have green uniforms. And they're in the neutral position. Now 2-1. There's an escape. For the Illinois wrestler Kepke. And they're up there tussling back and forth. And they go out of bounds back to the center. So there's 1:40 to go in the second period. 2-1 in favor of the Eastern Michigan wrestler Philip Joseph.
Indiana and Illinois still have 46 seconds to go here in the third period, so between Sheridan and Lamana.
Sheridan's going to let him go. He's not going to try to run around the man. He's going to take he said, but the last little takedown was a 5-point play.
That's what you like. You've been talking about it today, Coach. You've been saying that's what you should do, so he must be listening in. Maybe we're wired into his headgear there for the broadcast. But, yeah, and there he goes right in on the shot, too.
Boy, man, that's
tough, isn't it?
Let that go.
Come around the corner, yeah. Oh, there. You can pick up backs out there, can't you, Coach?
Yes, sir. New rules, so he stops him.
Man.
Oh,
could have picked up some more, but
honestly,
12 seconds.
I'd have given him that 2 over there.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe
when he didn't have his hands
2.
locked, either in the crotch or
that's
anything.
That's a 2-point takedown.
Yeah, the way they're giving the points out now, you don't need the reaction time, etc.
Exactly.
You like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. I like it. He's aggressive. He's got the major decision. He's okay. That's sealed up. Now let's go out and try to get something a little bit more, feet to back or something like that. So he wins this match with the riding time point included, 13-3. Nice job.
Looked like a second he was going to get the takedown and back points over there.
Yes.
In that scramble situation, but didn't happen. And I agree. I think that was a takedown, but we got some blood on the mat, so we got to get out here and clean the blood up.
We're having a bit of a brawl over on mat number 1. That's the Kepke Joseph match over there. The score is 2-1, and we have 25 seconds to go in the second period, and they just ratcheted it up a notch, and they've both been butting heads there and pushing each other around. They're in the standing position. We've got a front headlock by Joseph right now of Eastern Michigan, and he's cranking that around. Both of them realize they're going to have to do something if they want to win this match. We've got 5 seconds to go in the second period. Let's see where we start the third period.
Match 432 down here now.
Consolation results at 165 pounds. Consolation rolls at 165.
Okay, in the third period, we've got the Eastern Michigan wrestler Joseph taking the down position. And he is leading in that match 2-1 and getting the possibility of having an escape. But it looks like Kepke's just decided that he was going to try to hold him down, but Joseph gets up, peels the hands off, turns and gets out. So the score now is 3-1 in favor of Philip Joseph over Kepke of Illinois. There's 1:45 to go in that third period.
Just a 1-point match down there between the battle of the Northwesterns. Berkowitz and Sliga. And 5-4, I believe. Well, I can't tell you who's ahead. I think Berkowitz leads, actually. Jacob Berkowitz, 5-4. It's way down there on mat number 3. 1-point match. Riding time's not a factor, really. 13 seconds of riding time, so that's not going to be a determining factor at this stage of the game. In front of us, match 432. We got a really tall Basil Minto. He's a tall guy there.
Yeah.
197-pounder for the Northern Iowa Panthers against Seifert.
Okay, they're continuing to brawl on the far side over there, Kepke and Joseph. Kepke of Illinois and Joseph of Eastern Michigan, and they are butting heads. They're in the standing position. The score is
2-on-1 Russian tie.
Yeah, 3-1 in favor of Joseph. But Kepke just had a bear hug on Joseph, lifted him completely off the ground, but got walked off the mat, didn't get the takedown point on it. And so they go back to the center, but they are really butting heads out there. They are pushing and shoving back and forth. There, a lot of heavy hands, and there we got. We're going to get a penalty point. What did I tell you?
To the face?
Yeah, it was to the face. Let's see. It goes up now 4-1, and I told you these guys were going after each other. And now there's another shot in there by Kepke, and he's pushing again. These guys are
There's another shot to the face.
Yeah, they're just about getting ready to slug each other at this point. I hope it doesn't get to that.
No love lost between these two.
I don't think it will. But I think what it is a realization by Kepke that
his back's against the wall.
Right.
Third period, 28 seconds to go.
You got it exactly, Steve.
Should have ankle picked him right there.
Yeah. 25 seconds to go. It's 4-1. That last penalty point really hurt because now even a takedown won't tie it up. Plus there's a riding time point for Joseph as well. So he basically had 5-1. But the thing about that match, the score ends up, it's going to end up 5-1. But it was a brawl for the last two periods. These guys were really going at it.
Yeah, they were.
That gives a new definition to wrestling with heavy hands.
Yeah, that's right. They were really going after each other.
Next time these guys wrestle each other, I think they ought to put boxing gloves on each other.
Yeah, do a little MMA.
It was pretty rough, and they didn't exactly cross the line, but it was very close.
It's one of those things where a referee needs to step in to make sure they don't cross. I said, look, you're at the line. Let's go. Let's back it down, fellas.
Exactly.
Let's wrestle.
Don't come out full-fisted.
I don't want to get involved. If you want me involved, I will toss somebody or I'll start dishing out points.
Wise words.
They were in each other's face.
Over there on mat number 2, you're going to have David Reck from Virginia Tech wrestling unattached versus Abe Ayala of Princeton.
Oh, yeah.
They're going into the third. Virginia Tech young man's up ahead 3-2.
3-2.
But I don't know, for some reason I think we've talked about Ayala a couple times already through this thing, through the process.
Ayala.
Yeah, I know Princeton wrestler, another Princeton wrestler coming through.
Hope he doesn't have to say Ayala won that match when it's over, So that's what he's probably hoping he doesn't say. That's what his coach probably says. Okay, but Ayala got that takedown. Underhook there by V-Tech. Boy, that saved the takedown too. Oh, and then he takes his own shots in there on Ayala. 3-2. Best defense, sometimes offense. So.
Yeah, the score is 3-2. We're only not even 2 minutes into the match yet, and these guys are going after each other. Unfortunately, we've got some trainers and stuff blocking a bit of our view on that. There's another shot out there by Ayala.
Looking over here on mat 1, you got Tommy Peterson from North Dakota State, and then Vince Pickett from Edinburgh. Looks like Edinburgh changed their singlets today for the night session.
Yeah, they did.
Got a nice sublimated warrior, a Scottish warrior on the side.
Fighting Scott. So they aren't wrestling in their kilts at least. So. And Ayala's up trails now 3-2 against the young man wrestling unattached for Virginia Tech. David Reck, Virginia Tech, unattached. Now, do you know, is he redshirting or?
I don't know, but
about him or do?
Well, we'll just have to ask about that next time around because
David Jack, he's a real strong kid. I mean, he's wrestling solid match. He's got good underhooks. Every time Ayala tries to get in there and gets a takedown. He underhooks him and jacks him up, brings him up. And sometimes he's been taking a shot off of that. Reach attempt there by Ala.
Okay, that's going to be the end of the match there.
Double underhook. And Virginia Tech unattached wrestler should have won this thing, right? There you go.
That should be it.
3-2 then.
Okay,
so he moves on.
So a win for the unattached Virginia Tech wrestler. No points for the team, but points for the future for Virginia Tech. So nice job there by the wrestler, and there was a lot of pushing and shoving in that one at the end as well.
Yeah. Yala wanted to, Yala won that match, but got to take another few shots for the takedown is what happened in that circumstance.
You know, before we came on for this session, I talked to Schwab from Northern Iowa. I said, hey, you guys are wrestling one. He goes, what tournament are you watching? I'm like, I see your guys' singlets everywhere. We can't keep stop talking about you. He goes, that's because we got so many kids.
Yeah, they do.
You know, you're looking at it right now. We got mat number 4. We got a young man in front of us, and now mat number 2.
2 at the same time. They just got done. They had 2 others on here within the last 20 minutes.
And that's Blaze Cabal at heavyweight. You know, you guys were talking about, you know, kind of a little banged up. You know, Tully Thompson is your workout partner. Of course, you're probably going to get banged up with a little road rash on his forehead and face a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I know Riley Bannock wrestles for him. Ed Bannock, Lou Bannock's nephew, be Ed's son. I was just talking to Riley, and he said he tore his ACL, and that's why he's not wrestling this tournament. Otherwise, he's up to 174 this year for him.
Wow. Okay, we're going to get a takedown over there. Is that Pickett with the Edinburgh uniforms there?
Yeah.
That gives him a 4-0 lead at this point with a minute and 30 to go in the second period. Pretty nice takedown. Changes levels. Nice.
Look at this Northern Iowa Panther.
Might be able to get the pin on here.
Oh, man.
That's 432. That's Seifert and Cesar Minto. Minto, Northern Iowa.
Yeah, Minto's got the 5-point move. Should have, yep. Yeah, got 3 more for the back point, so up 5 to. Or no, it was just 3-2.
I think they just changed. I think they just changed that.
3-2 now. Match number 432.
Okay, the referee's down looking. He's asking the wrestlers to do something. Minto's got him tight. He's got a half Nelson on one side and kind of a Navy ride, and then twisting him out with a half Nelson. Now they go back to just regular.
Had him in a bent leg, 2-on-1 bent leg Turk earlier. But.
Yeah. Okay, that's the end of the second period.
Well, I just heard Sandy call Gilman's up on mat number 2, so.
Okay, Thomas Gilman.
Yep.
For Iowa. Have to see who his opponent is.
Mat 5, Clark is on mat 5. So
yeah, that was the one we had the request on, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Gilman.
So they are firing up the quarterfinals.
Corey Clark.
I didn't catch what mat that they put on
Clark.
Delgado.
Yeah, Delgado. Well, he was just right down here in front of us warming up, and that doesn't mean anything. But I don't know. I see Garnett down there warming up on front of 6. Garnett's down there by the tunnel.
And what mat did we say Gilman was going to be on?
Mat 2.
Mat 2. Okay, and that was for Ross Patton, who called and requested that. That's going to be coming up shortly, and.
Him and Clark, I noticed, are on the opposite side of brackets. So
Steve, you called it with Garnett on deck on 6.
Is he? Yeah.
Yes, on deck on 6. I just kind of listened and pulled it.
I see him down there with his headphones on. He's getting all prepared down there by the tunnel. Real good looking 25-pounder for Virginia Tech. It's hard to believe that he's in here as a post-grad, so. Good wrestler there for Coach Kevin Dresser over the years.
Let's remember that while these are the consolation rounds, they still bring in team points, and these it's just as important to win these as any other match. So, you know, there's no slacking in this round here. They've seen a lot of good wrestling, and these guys are out there to not only further their own aspirations there to get some kind of a medal in this tournament, but also to help out their teams. And of course, their coaches are
wrestlebacks are so important. They really are. I don't know if it is that way now, but back in the day in the NCAAs, if you lose first round, if you can win all the way through and take third place with bonus points, you can score. I don't think you can now, but you used to be able to score more points than the guy that ran the table and just won by decisions and was the champ.
I think you can still do that.
You still can, as long as you get bonus points as you go.
Yeah, you're going to have to probably pin your way. You're going to get five falls or 6 falls.
Get tacks or pins or mostly pins.
That's 12 points. What is it? It's 16 to win it,
so
14 to take second. Then it goes down to 10.
For that, and then if you pick up your bonus points in each match,
so you can make up the bonus points. You can 6 points if you take third. Yeah.
Yeah, because you probably have to wrestle 7 matches or
with pigtail 7 matches, no pigtail 6.
Right. Yeah. Right. And sometimes it is. I've seen them do it in pigtail.
Okay, I'm going to mention right now that in just a few minutes we're going to have a special guest here, the former president of Northwestern University.
Oh, wow. Great.
Chancellor, I don't know if it's Chancellor or whatever Beenan is going to be with us for just a few minutes. And, of course, he's a sports enthusiast and has been helpful in trying to promote these programs, wrestling as well as the other sports and that. So we're going to get him on and talk to him for a few minutes.
You want me to opt out? I can.
Well, we want to get a microphone for him. So
I'll just opt out. Then when he comes, I'll jump out. You guys have fun.
Okay. It'll just be for a few minutes when he gets here, but the fellow deserves to be heard, and we want to thank him for all his help on.
I'm going to go get some nutrition while that happens.
Okay, sounds good.
So. That chopped salad didn't take care of you?
It did for a little bit. Now I'm looking for an apple or a banana or something.
Okay, now do we have a Wartburg? Do we have the Wartburg heavyweight out there? Because Orlando will want to know that.
Yes.
Is that Lehigh match? I can't see the uniform.
UW Whitewater, because that's the match that we thought we had confused on there. Steve and I had a
young man with the American flag on the back of the singlet.
Oh, that says Warhawks. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Ben Peterson, that gave it away last time. He was in his corner, I think. But
yes.
I don't know about now. So Joe Cologne's coming up here. I'd like to keep track of this young Cologne man from Northern Iowa.
As soon as these
winning.
As soon as these few heavyweight matches are over, I'm going to head on over, depending on when Chancellor Beenan gets here, and try to get the updates on the brackets.
There goes the chairs and a whole bunch of other stuff.
That's what happens when you get a couple heavyweights running across the mats.
Somebody got a point, too, because of that.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Valero from Lehigh got a point there.
And it's a wreck down there. The chair's knocked over. All kinds of equipment is smashed up that was in a plastic container. The
Rubbermaid stuff didn't survive.
Got falled on. Yeah, you're not going to make a commercial for that one. So, and we just did get the update from our good friend Jeff Kreider. We're going to give that to you right now.
Good.
Updating the bracket. So give me about 30 seconds or so, and I should be able to get that over to you.
So the Lehigh wrestler leads now because of that action. So.
The one thing I noticed about him when he got up, he didn't brush it off once.
Yeah, right.
It's like being thrown inside, getting dusted by a high fastball.
Yep.
You don't brush it off.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
He just jumped up, walked back to the center, said, all right, you got me, let's go.
Yep, let's go at it. And look, we got a lot more wrestling that needs to go on. We got to sort it out. So that's what they're doing over there. And meanwhile, we got some other matches getting ready to come up here at the lower weight classes. I want to watch this Cologne-Tyler Graf one in front of us. This will be fun. Cologne stuff. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're not sure if we're going to get that interview for you with the former president of the school, but we're going to see what happens. Maybe we'll be able to catch him a little bit later.
Yeah.
Again, we always like to recognize people who help promote the sport. And those kinds of people, the presidents of schools, the athletic directors, and that are certainly a part of that.
Uh-huh. They sure are. Why'd you set me down here next to this bag of candy? I've eaten more candy in the last few matches than I have this last 2013, the entire year. So.
Well, the good thing is 2013
year's almost over.
Yeah, so
about ready to do a Happy New Year for 14, huh?
Yeah, you help yourself and finishing 13 strong.
That's right, buddy.
After that point, you figured Valero got a little upset or anything. They still haven't scored a point here.
No, they
right
just,
in front of us.
Yeah. Might have tamed him down. Made him, intimidated him. Shouldn't. He can still attack guys within the circle. You got to remember that.
Okay, I've just, this is Greg Zafros here. I just want to let you know that I have updated the brackets, and that's so if you're checking the brackets, either printing them out or reading them on your computer, remember you can listen to us on your computer and be printing this out and looking at this as well. No problem with that. And if you're listening to us on radio, obviously go over to your computer and turn it on, and get either look at it or print it out there. So it is updated now as of the match is all within about the last 5 minutes or so.
Yep, exactly. So
you're listening to Takedown. This is Greg Zafros along with my good friends Tom Erickson and Steve Foster. We're having a great time. We've also got Scott Casper here and Dan McCool, excuse me. They're out feeding themselves, I think, at this point.
Scott's out with the taken offering.
So
the collection plate. So
what's this? Coder Habala from Eastern Michigan with a nice little Turk over Garrett Ryan, unattached from Columbia.
Oh, man.
Out big. You missed that. Get the leg in, cross the face, take him across.
Wow.
That's some old school, I want to hurt you and turn you type of move.
Yeah. Hurt you and then turn you. Yep, that is so true, sir. I'm looking forward to Cologne and Get Graff right here in front of us. That's coming up, my friends.
Okay, let's keep a match, an eye out on filling game from Adam State and for Fabiola. And that I think the next bout for him is 463. So let's make a note on that one, put a little X on it there so that we can bring the results to that one. And again, we appreciate your contacting us on that. That's what we're here for, to serve you and to have a good time ourselves as well. So the best, the more we can do that, the better we feel.
Do we know if it might be a Beistel from Columbia might be filling game's next opponent there.
Okay, well, we'll check and see. It's not listed here, but
Beistel and filling game maybe.
Okay.
Match number 463, as you mentioned, Greg.
Okay, so Steve has it marked now, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it
circled
play by play. Good.
Unless it's in the other building.
Yeah, right, and there's nothing we can do about that.
We can't be Superman and look through concrete and steel.
Okay, when we finish this one, have we gone through the 2 rounds of this? Will we be getting to our quarterfinals?
This is it. We're starting on the quarterfinals on match number 5 and 2. Gilman is over on the other side.
439, right?
That's not correct. I'm pretty sure that's Gilman and Peters from Northern Iowa.
Yeah, Peters is good. Peters can bring it.
Yeah, they just switched the clock. That's Gilman and Peters over there, and straight across is going to be Clark and Deutsch.
You were at Vegas, Tom? You were at the Vegas tournament?
No.
Oh, okay, because Earl Hall was beating Peters, and Peters actually caught Earl Hall from Iowa State and pinned him. So I know that Peters can be dangerous, but Gillum gets the first takedown for Iowa.
So as we got it right now, the Delgado and Yaoshi is on mat number 3. So they're going 3, 6, 2, and 5. They're going to be the quarterfinal matches. They're going to probably keep these over here on as consolations. The way it seems on match number 1 and 4.
Okay, and the match between Gerard Garnett, formerly of Virginia Tech, and Boyle,
right in the corner,
is taking place. There's no score on that right yet. They're in the first period, but still a minute to go. So they've got wrestled 2 minutes already and no takedown yet.
Yahtzee in on a leg there of Garnett, but I've learned with Garnett it's not over till it's over.
Unfortunately for our Virginia Tech fans, and
it's down there.
Yeah, we've got a scoreboard kind of blocking us, and it looks like Boyle might get the takedown over at the edge of the mat. He's behind Garnett. He's got his legs. If he holds him down, I think that he's close to getting it.
He did.
The referee breaks it. Did he give it to him?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did. So there's
Garnett wizard, but he came out of that wizard, and that allowed Yahtzee to get the takedown.
A little bit of surprising over on mat number 3. You're going to have Delgado's only winning
3-1
over Yahtzee.
Yahtzee, that's it. I'm sorry.
Yahtzee from Michigan. I used to play Yahtzee when I was young.
Yeah. I think they were saying that it's Yahtzee.
Yahtzee? We'll go with Yahtzee.
They came over to make a correction to Sandy Stevens, who does the announcements here. So
I Yahtzee the match over there, and Yahtzee's trailing.
You'd see it? I don't see it. If you see it,
you'd see it.
I'm behind that scoreboard. You'd see it be better than I would. Okay.
It's a good way to help us remember the pronunciation, isn't it?
Pretty infantile group we have right here. Okay, again, we're starting with continue on with 9 seconds to go in the first period, and the number 2 seed, Gerard Garnett, is down, and he's got about 1 second or 5 seconds to get out of there. He gets up and does a mule kick out, but we got Boyle holding on, and let's see if he's going to get called for stalling. He does get the stalling call, Boyle does.
For hanging on to the
ankles. Hanging on to that ankle, and good mule kicking there by Garnett to at least get the warning. He didn't get any kind of point.
Delgado gets the escape down there, coming around the corner, and Utsi trying to maybe get another takedown, up 4-1. 54 seconds go in the second period. Gilman leads Peters 2-1. 45 seconds go in that first period. 1 minute and 3 seconds riding time in favor of Gilman from Iowa.
You got Clark over Deutsch 4-1 starting the second period, going both neutral.
Let's remember over on mat 6 that we've got Gerard Garnett wrestling for the Bison Wrestling Club, formerly of Virginia Tech, but he's wrestling Boyle, Sean Boyle from Michigan. I don't know if we mentioned that before. And we start the second period, and Boyle goes down. He gets up, and Garnett lifts him up, throws across the leg into a flying Turk on that. Gets him in. He's going to get back points
because that's the rule.
He's going to get at least 2 back points on that one. It looks like 2. Okay,
quickies.
So that ties the score up. A nice move by Gerard Garnett.
That's that new rule Tom Erickson was mentioning earlier. You can get back points out of bounds.
Yeah,
you help Garnett. They're right there.
As long as you're within the first 3 rows of the bleachers and that, you can get back points. Isn't that what you said, Tom?
In that case, it looked like
in this gym, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. That's right.
Only at Welsh Ryan Arena can you that apply.
I think Valero right in front of us has spent more time over here off the mat than he has on.
Yeah, exactly.
That young man from Whitewater is just kind of banging away with 8 seconds left. I'm sure he's going to be charging him again.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on the Garnett match, and then we'll move across to the other match as well. Try to keep you updated on all these quarterfinal matches.
Delgado now leads 6-1, and Gilman leads 3-1.
And
Clark is up 6-1.
Okay,
Corey, you said that. I'm sorry. You got Delgado up 6-1, and Clark is up 6-1.
Yeah, same score. Yep, same score, different match.
Right.
So yeah.
Corey Clark is the number 3 seed. Gerard Garnett, the number 2 seed, and Delgado, the number 1 seed. So,
well, it's going to be a heck of a semi tomorrow.
I know, it's going to be great. Well, we said right from the very beginning that if the seeds work out fairly decently, there are going to be some great matches in the semifinals and the finals.
Root beer? Did you get a root beer? Oh, they're good. All right, sounds good. We got some good wrestling. 6-1 still. Delgado up 6-1. Yeoman up 3-1 over Peters of Northern Iowa. So we got a Northern Iowa Panther against an Iowa Hawkeye. Okay, Clark from Southeast Polk High School out of the Central Iowa, just around the Des Moines metro area.
There's a match over on mat number 1 that I know we kind of liked a little bit earlier. Is that Jordan Laster from Princeton, but the kid I think we looked at a little bit earlier was that Dennis Gustafson from Virginia Tech.
Right, right. Yeah, Gustafson was,
good looking young man there that really put
the freshman
came in strong.
Them, yes.
There's saying that he looked a little bit like Joey Dance, short and stocky, and those guys I'm sure they work out together. Okay. At this point, Gerard Garnett is still behind on that one, 3-0. He's possibly going to get a takedown here. They're near the edge of the mat. The referee gives the 2 points.
So he
they
takes
go off
the lead.
net. So he's up, going up 4-3, 19 seconds left in the second period. But I'll tell you that Boyle is, let me check the seed on that. Boyle is unseeded. He's going against the number 2 seed, and he's doing a job on him right now.
Keeping up with him.
You know, if I'm Joe McFarland, I got to like what I'm seeing. Match 6 and 3. You got, Gerard Garnett barely beating Boyle 4-3, and right across the mat, Jesse Delgado, the number 1 seed, he's only down 6-2. Again, Utsi is only down 6-2 to the defending national champ.
Right.
Delgado still up 6-2, like you say. 53 seconds go in the third period. Yeoman's got 1 minute and 2 seconds of riding time over Peters. Now leads 3-1. Corey Clark up here on mat number 5, match 445. His score is 7-1 over Tusht of Ryder. So Clark doing a good job there. So you got 2 Iowa Hawkeyes right across the map from each other. I'd like to watch Garnett and Corey Clark wrestle again. That thing last year was, you remember that one?
Yeah.
Greg Zafros. That was down the far mat. Yeah. I remember that just went on and on and on with Garnett coming out on top. So, but Clark was a good-looking redshirt freshman at the time, entered the tournament. We knew he had a bright future. Garnett's no walk in the park.
Right.
He's a tough kid.
Garnett's only leading by a score of 4-3. They're in the third period with 1:40 to go, and Garnett is down.
Gotta believe he'd want him to get out of here and stall against Michigan.
Yeah, Garnett had 54 seconds of riding time at the start of the period, but Boyle has whittled that down to 21 seconds now.
Wow.
And Garnett shoots in. He's got that. He sweeps around and grabs the ankle. Let's see if he can come around and get it. Yeah, I think he's going to get it.
Boy, he's got to cross-face him, get the hand control. You got to do a trip. Get him.
Oh, a nice move by Boyle to get out of it.
Boyle.
And they go out of
it.
He gave the points. He gave the 2 points to Gerard Garnett. And that's where Garnett is good. Once he gets a hold of you, he kind of sticks to you and can spin around left and right and get behind you. And
he's good at hips to hips.
Yeah.
Drug the feet, kept him in, and kept the takedown.
So we've got 1:06 to go, and Garnett has a 7-3 lead now. A little bit more comfortable for him than that 4-3 lead he had before.
Corey Clark wins 8-1 with 2:43 riding time, so Clark moves on.
Peters has tightened this one up against Gilman. It's 3-2, but although Gilman has that riding time, he's got 1:13 riding time, so it's 4-2. But Peters goes ahead and sneaks one. Oh no, I don't even agree with that at all. Sorry, that's.
What did we get here? I was looking at the other match.
He hit a shot. Gilman hit a shot. Peters hit a little underarm spin all the way through it, back up, and they gave him 2, which he's going to win the match anyway. But you kind of. I wouldn't agree with that call.
Yeah.
Russell Tough, though. Russell Tough. And then right now, right behind him, we got Tony Ramos. So he's going to step on and stare it out.
Okay, we've got 12 seconds left to go on the number 2 seed, Gerard Garnett. So we had a win for Jesse Delgado. But
Gilman won.
Okay, Gilman won there, and then Corey Clark won, and now the last one we've got is, and Garnett. Time has just run out, so we've got an 8-3 win by Gerard Garnett of wrestling for I believe it's the Bison Wrestling Club.
I don't think Garnett's too happy with that win, the way he yanked off that strap.
Yeah. Right.
He won regardless. He's a tough kid. I love watching Garnett wrestle because it's a lot of action.
Yeah.
Ramos now in the stare down on mat number 2. He loves that stare down there for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And let's see, his opponent is Lotito. Devin Lotito from Cal Poly, so coming all the way from California. Take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Lotito. Lotito, he won by default last match, so he should be plenty rested up here.
Now stop and think of this lineup here for the 133-pound weight class, which I always think is just a fantastic weight class. You got A.J. Schopp of Edinburgh going against Bruno. You got Tyler Graff of Wisconsin going against Cologne. You've got Mason Beckman of Lehigh going against Alan Waters, of Missouri, and then Lotito going against Tony Ramos. What a lineup that is. That weight class is just stacked.
Yeah, it is. I'm interested in every one of them. The one I want to keep track of is Graff.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I was just going to say I was going to take that, but I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that. I'll take a look over there at Ramos and see what he's doing.
Cologne and Graff just kind of tying it up there. No score.
Yeah, we're kind of switching it around here. I'm going to do Iowa and you're going to do Wisconsin.
There you go.
We're not
that
used
way
to
we
doing
can
that.
say people can't say we're homers.
Right.
We are neutral. So exactly. And Graff really wrestling with a nice underhook there. Now Cologne, I remember doing play-by-play with him for Iowa Central. He was a JUCO national champion for Luke Moffitt and company. Okay, they're out of Fort Dodge, Iowa, and then he went to D1. Cologne has.
Yeah,
out of the JUCO Junior College National Championships.
We just got a takedown by Tony Ramos out there. His opponent was Lotito. Started backing up and backed up to the edge of the mat and just kind of fell backwards, and Tony Ramos just grabbed his ankles, and Lotito took a dive down, and the referee gave the points because Ramos was in bounds. So they go back to the center with Lotito down, and he gets up right away and he's trying a switch and a turn. He's really going after Ramos on this. Ramos catches him now and throws him almost into the scoring table. That was really close.
Joe needs to say something to him. Joe Taub, that's official there. He said, hey,
Yeah,
easy on the edge. Come on.
Right, don't need to throw him down. So
Well, what's amazing is they make such a big stink between the circles being close to each other, and then they don't say anything about the tables. So
2-1 now. Latito staging a comeback here. Don't want to give an inch to Ramos. He'll be on you like a rat on a Cheeto, as Sammy Henson used to say.
You know he's going to come at you for 7 minutes, but what you can do is you kind of figuratively punch him in the nose a little bit. Look, we're going to wrestle hard. I'm going to wrestle you hard. Let's just wrestle this match, and kind of cuts down on some of the antics and the physicality of it. But,
right,
Okay, it looks like
they go out of bounds with 24 seconds to go in the first period.
Yeah, a moderately comfortable lead of 5-0 by number 1 seed AJ Shop of Edinburgh. He's wrestling Bruno from Michigan.
They did change their singlets up, didn't they, Tom?
Yeah.
For this round or session.
Tyler Graff on a nice shot on Cologne. I don't know if he's got enough time to finish it though. 7 seconds, counting it down. Yes, 2. He got it with
2.
1 second left.
Wow,
Tyler
that's
Graff
huge for
finishes that
Tyler
with
Graff.
1 second left. Took it with like 10, scrambled it out right on the edge, kept him inbounds, and scored it with 1 second left. Doubled off on it.
That's amazing. Wow, Cologne. I think they've wrestled the duel already this year, and I believe Cologne was victorious. I'll do a little research on that or not. So this might be kind of a Payback Incorporated type of match. Payback Inc.
I always felt Graff was a big 33-pounder.
Yeah, right. He seems like he does cut a lot of weight. So, and I know he's been around for. And I've done his play-by-play on his matches clear back when the national duels were at the Unidome first few years. Tyler Graff was wrestling for Wisconsin then, so he's had a nice long career.
Okay,
congratulations to him.
Yeah, over on mat number 2, we're going into the second period, and Tony Ramos has a 4-1 lead going into that against Latito. And actually, I have to give Latito, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a lot of credit there. He has been going after Ramos and not making it easy for him. I think Ramos is going to be a bit tired out after this match. Okay, we've got start of the second period, and Ramos is down. He loves to
cow catchers. Watch this. In second, third period, Ramos, that's when he starts throwing those cow catchers, those underhooks.
Well, he must spend an awful lot of time with...
out in the country.
Yeah.
Choring out on the farm. Cologne on top. Tyler Graff starts on the bottom and leads. And the Wisconsin Badgers out. 3-1 now he leads, Joe Cologne. So Cologne is the 4 seed. Graff is the 5 seed. I'm going to guess that's probably because Cologne did defeat him in a duel earlier this year, but I'm just not sure.
Mat number 5, I don't think we've mentioned it yet. You got Beckman and Alan Waters going at it. 0-0, middle of the second period.
Yeah, Waters is here.
There just aren't enough eyes to see all the action going on here. This is really an outstanding weight class.
Yeah,
I mean, not only an outstanding weight class for the Midlands tournament, but an outstanding weight class nationally to see these guys out here, every one of them.
Mason Beckman's tough. Of course, Waters is too. And they're scoreless, is that right?
That's
what
right.
You got here right on mat 5?
And Waters is riding him out. Waters will end up riding him out the whole second period. Looking, we talked about earlier about changing singlets. Lehigh had white on this morning.
Yeah,
session. Now they're wearing brown.
And they'll get them laundered tonight, and then we'll see what color they come out tomorrow with. So.
Okay. 30 seconds to go in the second period, and Tony Ramos has increased his lead to 5-1.
Pressure on the head, releases the pressure, and drops down on the single.
Okay, so Ramos going to get another one here? Let's see. Yeah, he's...
Nice arm reach there by the Cal Poly, Latito, to...
Okay.
Oh, Latito's got it. Yeah. He's got to stay busy. Ramos stuffed the head, but not get the takedown.
Nice job by Latito out there. They were straddling the edge of the mat, and Latito just didn't give up on it. Just didn't give up. And Ramos was spinning left and spinning right, going back and forth in that, and he couldn't get it. So they went out of bounds. That's the end of the second period. And Ramos continues to lead it by a score of 5-1.
Cologne now has riding time, so on the scoreboard, it says 3-0, but technically right now he does have the riding time point. I don't know if he's going to try to turn Graff, or you almost have to cut him, right, Coach Tom Erickson? And
I think you have to cut him and go after him.
Eventually you're going to have to
You're not going to turn a guy like Tyler Graff.
I don't think so, unless you're Andrew Hochstrasser.
Yeah, you're not going to turn somebody right there. You got to.
Hochstrasser always had Graff's
you got your riding time point, because you got to assume, look, I've got riding time point, I need to take down, so that's a push. You're wasting time trying to turn a kid like that. Looking at it, you got Beckman riding out there.
Got to cut him.
Waters takes a 1-0 lead over Beckman because he ended up getting away from him.
Right.
And he got the 17 seconds riding time.
Like you say, even if you cut him, then you're giving him up 4-0. You get a takedown 3. You still lose 4-3 just with the takedown. So you got to have more in a takedown, Tom.
Yeah.
Out there, he's trying to get some quick tilts against Graff.
He got the tilt.
He got him. Wow, this is huge. This is very big for Joe Colon.
He's leading 4-3.
He got 3-pointers, right? Didn't he get a 3-pointer? He got a 5-count, Coach.
He's leading 4-3.
That's big for Joe Colon. Wow, Tyler Graff's got to be frustrated with that. Now what's he do? Ride him out?
Okay. Oh, absolutely.
Just got it. You got to stay on top of him, man. Big roll. He gets caught. He just got caught. Tyler Graff got caught back. He initiated the roll. He initiated the roll, and Colon caught him. So Colon, is this his second win over Tyler Graff this year?
Yes, if you guys are talking about winning that duel, the first duel, Colon wins the duel. Graff,
pretty sure he did.
I don't want to say dominated the whole match, but he's winning the whole match. And
to
come
the
back in the last period, gives up a near fall, 2 near falls, a 3-pointer or 2-pointer and a riding time point, loses the match 6-3.
Your junior college national champ is on his way to the semis.
Okay, and then we were not neglecting the Tony Ramos. Well, we were neglecting the Tony Ramos match primarily because he's up. Was up 9-3. Now it's 9-4. Now it's 11-4 with 20 seconds to go, and Tony Ramos was pretty much in control all the way. He's getting ready to throw in a cradle here and try to crank his opponent over. So
Takedown from Cal Paul. He's just kind of stomaching out, pacing out, and trying to stay off his back. So
Ramos lets him out. Gives him the 1, makes it 11-5.
Another
so 2 seconds to go.
Gets another takedown.
13-5, 14-5 with the riding time on that.
Major.
So another major decision for Iowa.
Going to jump the gun a little bit here. Actually, they're all done now. So you're going to have Shop going to face Cologne in the top semifinal, and Waters came back, escaped, and rode out. Beckman over there on mat number 5. You're going to have Waters versus Ramos.
That'll be fun. What a semifinal. Well, what a quarterfinal, what a semifinal, and what a final we're going to be
That's
having.
going to be interesting if Waters can ride Ramos.
Yeah, he can stay on him. He's been a premier 25-pounder since he stepped on the mat in college, and now he's bumped up and redshirting, but entered this as a 33-pounder. So that'll be a good gauge to see if this 33 is what he wants. I got to believe it's his future weight. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, over on mat number 5, right off to our left, we've got the number 1 seed, Michael Port of Edinburgh. He's going against Rayleigh. That one here is Ethan Rayleigh of Indiana. And Port did an outstanding job last year at the national championships. And
Mitchell Port.
Yeah, Mitchell Port. Excuse me, I think I said Michael before. Mitchell Port, and that's the reason he's ranked number 1 in the nation right now, and ranked and seeded number 1 in this tournament.
He's tough. He's going to be hard to beat in here, and he's got, like you said, he's got Rayleigh from Ethan Rayleigh from Indiana. Yeah,
and he just took him down, got himself 2 points. Let's also focus on mat number 2 because that's going to be Durso over there, Rick Durso, and we got a request on follow Durso as well. And that match is between Durso and you can take because it's Iowa this time. You're always unbiased.
Dazawa.
You're always unbiased with Iowa. So.
Yep. Dazawa. Or some have his D silent and just call him Zawa, but I'm going to go with Dazawa.
Okay.
It's not Anderson or Smith. I can promise you that.
Yeah. We also have, should give credit where credit is due, and we have Pat Greco out there for the host team, Northwestern University. He's wrestling over on mat number 3, and he's going against Tyler Argy of Northern Illinois. So we've got 2 Illinois schools in Illinois wrestling each other. And we have, obviously, since it's the home field here, a lot of fans here from Northwestern. Okay, now we now have a lead of 4-1 for Mitchell Port of Edinburgh going against Rayleigh of Indiana, and we have 1 minute to go in the first period. So right now he seems to be in control. No score over there on the match. Over on the far side, what is that, 462, then you have, Zawa? Or
Zawa. Yep.
Zawa.
From the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Okay.
Boy, they're in a tussle, though. There's been a couple scoring opportunities there. Big whizzer there by Zawa's Durso.
Yeah.
Durso's tough.
I'll let you handle that one because I can't pronounce that name. Okay, we're going to get some more points. It's going to be 6-2 for Mitchell Port of Edinburgh. Still 30 seconds to go in the first period, so a pretty good first period for him. And looks like he might be on his way to the semifinals. But again, it's wrestling. You can never tell.
Durso's looking like DeWaza's got Durso's leg up. Franklin and Marshall. And he's going to have to drive into it. That's what he's got to do. He's got to change his level here. Durso doing a good job. Kind of limp-legged himself out of that situation.
6-2 lead for
Now, nice spin around there at the edge of the mat. Durso almost gets the takedown in the closing seconds, but it's not the case. So Durso gets choice.
as we head to the second period.
Look down on mat number 6. You got Crop from Princeton facing Steven Rodriguez from Illinois. Rodriguez comes in unseeded, and so far he's clipped 2 seeded guys.
Yeah, and Crop is the number 3.
Martinez.
Yeah, Crop is the number 3 seed. We covered one of his matches before, so we'll see what happens there.
Adam Crop, Rodriguez beat the defending NAIA national champion Gustavo Martinez from Grandview, the Vikings. So Martinez is tough. I've seen him wrestle back in Iowa a lot, but that program, boy, they've done a lot in a short amount of time in Des Moines, out of Grandview University. You can get your master's there now, so it's Grandview University now, not just college. So, but they have done a tremendous job. Nick Mitchell and Grant Turner and the other coaching staffs up there. Lieutenant Colonel Hal Turner, I know he's involved with the Grandview program, and they have just done amazing stuff. And they've had the sport of wrestling. Great practice facility, by the way.
Is it?
Oh, it's state of the art for NAIA. It's bizarre. There's a lot of D1 schools that drool over that practice room. They would love to have it.
Okay, we've got Mitchell Port now with a 12-3 lead over Rayleigh of Indiana, and we still have a minute to go in the second period, so this is sort of a wipeout at this point, but we'll see what happens. And then Zawa,
he's up. He trails 1-0.
Yeah.
Durso got the escape. 41 seconds to go in the second period. 14 seconds of riding time in favor of Zawa.
Okay, let's remember, though, that Durso is the number 2 seed.
Yeah, he is, exactly. Yeah, against the number 7 seed from Zawa. So Durso's a good wrestler. They've been in some good scraps, only 1-0, but
Hometown favorite here, Pat Greco, is up 3-2 against Tyler Argue from Northern Illinois. And they are in the third period. Riding time not a factor, and he got 2 more takedowns, so he's winning 5-2. Pat Greco, the 12 seed, coming through, winning 5-2 over Tyler Argue, who is not seeded. So somebody coming through that quarter is going to, a 12 seed and no seed.
Yeah, people you weren't expecting when it all begun, that's for sure.
Reminds me of a couple years ago when Lee Munster won it. Kind of, he's an excellent wrestler, but kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And did a wonderful job. And of course, he was from Northwestern, so the hometown crowd went wild when he won it.
Wrestling like a monster.
Yeah.
And Mitchell Port right now on top, 14-3.
Yeah.
Still got the third period to go, 1:45 of riding time for Mitchell Port.
We'll tell you if anything changes there, but otherwise let's take a look at the other matches.
Yeah,
because they are pretty close. That Crop Rodriguez match is 4-3. Who's winning that one, Tom? It's 4-4 now. So I can tell you with the exactitude it's 4-4
in the second, but Crop does have the riding time.
Right, and he has 2 minutes of it too. So
Tawaza trying to get out here in the third period. He started in the bottom to try to tie this up, and he does. So escape for the Hawkeye. He ties it up 1-1 against the number 2 seed Durso.
Okay, we just had a flying move out there that Arguay or whatever.
Tyler Argue from Northern
Illinois. He just went after Pat Greco, dove after him, actually knocked him back off the mat. If he'd been able to knock him down a little sooner, he would have gotten the takedown. It was it didn't result in any score, but it was a fabulous move to just see the amount of distance that was covered on that. They go out of bounds, come back to the center, and there's about 23 seconds left in that match. And Greco is still up by a score of 5-3, which I believe is the last score that we gave you as well. So 20 seconds for Pat Greco to hold on.
Durso and Dazawa ready, 1-1, 33 seconds to go in the match. Durso in on a big body lock.
Oh, what a throw!
Great throw by Dazawa though with a reverse headlock. He's going to pin Durso. Durso's pinned, guys. I don't know what the ref sees, but those are two blades touching, I think.
And that's a high amplitude throw. That's you don't see anything better than that in the Olympics. I'll tell you, he had him straight up over his head.
He did.
Just lifted him up. I hope somebody's got a video of that.
That'll be the match, guys.
Well, that's the move of the day. I mean, there's
happened twice.
Yeah.
We've seen that before already today, maybe 3 times.
And the Iowa crowd goes crazy. What a great move.
The 2 seed goes down to the Hawk. Well, Iowa needed some more team points. So
down on mat number 6. Came back into it. Rodriguez brought it, tied it back up. Now is taking the lead, but he's still fighting the riding time. So that match is tied up, in a sense tied up, because he's probably not going to get out that riding time. So it's 6-6 right now with the riding time. He's going to try to cut him.
It's going to be a 15-4 major decision victory for your top seed at 141.
Mitchell Port wins big. 6-6 tie down there. Is that right, Big Tom?
Yeah, he just cut him, but the riding time's locked at this point.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's not locked, but theoretically the riding time's locked in, so he's wrestling up against 7-6.
Yep, 7-6 in favor of Red Anklet there.
You're listening.
Stall call. Stall warning against Illinois. Is that correct?
No, that's against
against Krop. Okay.
And here comes Rodriguez back in on the legs. He's going to get another point. He keeps that intensity up, he'll get another point.
He's got to.
If they're going to call it match that, they call it stall, call that early. He's set up to get dinged around 20 seconds.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
You're listening to
keep shooting.
Yeah. You're listening to Takedown. You're truly Greg Zaffro, Steve Foster, Tom Erickson. We're having a great time bringing you this 51st Ken Kraft Midlands tournament.
Have you been here for every one?
Just about.
Close, I
made the first one and I made this one.
Yeah, there you go. First and last so far, correct?
Yep.
Rodriguez with the takedown on the edge with 27 seconds left.
Wow, smart wrestling.
8-6 right now. Riding time is locked, so it's 8-7. He's wrestling an 8-7 match. So
Krop did not dictate the match.
He has got to ride him out. Yeah, he didn't dictate.
He did.
Rodriguez kept coming at him.
Yeah.
He's still got to ride him out. He gets to take an escape here, put it into overtime.
Oh, he's trying to set out reversal, set out switch. Big Granby there. He might have got caught. Nope, not yet. So, wow, big.
8-6 lead for Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, wow, 8-6. Locking of the hands.
He will get the penalty point here. They will go into overtime.
1 point. Oh, it is.
Point, overtime.
Yeah, it goes to overtime.
Point, and now the riding time point.
Yeah, so that'll be the difference maker.
No, they're going into overtime.
Yeah, they need to bring the scoreboard up to par here. They still have an 8-7.
They got to wipe the riding time out to balance the riding time.
There you go. It's up and ready to go. Here we go, guys. Sudden victory.
Got to like it. Rodriguez is still on it, still putting pressure going forward.
Right, yes. That locking in the hands was the difference maker. There's your Rodriguez in there, tough on 2, and comes out with a victory.
Two-peat, man.
Wow, big
Rodriguez,
win.
unseeded,
fighting alone.
Third-seeded kid.
Here we also want to make mention over on mat number 3 that we've got about 470. Excuse me, it's on mat number 2.
Yeah, 470.
And 470. And that's Lubeck of Wisconsin, who had that pin against Arian Caldwell earlier. And that's surprising. Lubeck from Wisconsin. And he's wrestling Rollo from George Mason. So we want to give a little shout out to George Mason and Joe Russell out there for having his wrestler in there. Now we should say that Rollo, R-O-U-L-O, Rulo, if that's how it is wrestling unseeded, but represents George Mason at some point or other.
Was Greco victorious?
I believe he was. I believe he was. He was up by 1 point. He won that.
I didn't get that one filled in.
I believe he did.
So, okay, we're up to 149 pounds. So the weights just keep on going. So we got Alex Sursis. Is that right? Is Sursis out there?
Jason.
Or Jason Park. Yeah, I did that same thing Greg did.
467 over there, yeah. Look yeah, for how many years were we saying Alex?
Quite a few years.
Actually, T-shirt, we should say.
Yeah, T-shirt, yeah, Sursis.
Okay, one of your kids that you like, Niebert from Virginia Tech.
Right, it's Nibert.
Nibert, sorry.
Yeah,
Nibert from Virginia Tech, Russell Grahalis. As par for Grahalis, he jumps out early. You know, he's out ahead 2-0 early, but
and then falls back.
We're in the first period.
Yeah,
we just ended out the first period here. So
yeah, I've seen that so many times, and Nibert is good. I was actually saying Niebert myself, but I was corrected by somebody from Virginia Tech telling me it was Nibert.
He's a Paris Graham, right?
I think so. Yes, I think so. And there's a few good wrestlers that have come out of there.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. Okay, so we're in the second period. The score is 2-0 in favor of Grahalis from Michigan, and Grahalis tries to throw on Nibert, but a nice counter. And Nibert's down on 3-point stance. Now they go back up. It looks like they're getting ready for a Greco match out here. They're all upper body clinching each other and trying to throw. Nice shot in there by Nibert. Let's see if he's going to get it. The referee keeps them in, or it's holding them in. And are they completely out of bounds yet?
No, that's that little cylinder rule.
Yeah, I know, but his knee went out a little bit. Let's see what we've got. We need a net like in the MMA or whatever.
Yeah,
it's called,
right,
you know,
exactly.
Had a great scramble right down there on mat number 6 with Habat and Minotti. Minotti winning that scramble up 2-0 here with an early takedown.
Sursis leads now 1-0 with an escape against Short from Minnesota.
On this Grahalis match and Nibert match, Grahalis is the 5th seed and Nibert is the 4th seed, so it's not like somebody's in there who shouldn't be in there. They both should be.
Do you know if that Short from Minnesota is any relative of the other, his brother?
I think so.
Well, what a family.
Yeah, they've had more than one Short up there, so they've had some. And there's a Zimmerman in there too. Do you remember some Zimmermans from back in the day?
Yes.
For them, and they got a Zimmerman starting at 65 for them. They're related. One part of the Zimmerman family.
Grahalis,
some of those same names hang around those same schools, don't they, Tom?
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
It's a family thing.
Iowa used to do it forever, but they used to do brothers that were really close together.
Yeah.
Grahalis holding on to a 2-0 lead over Zach Nibert of Virginia Tech.
As much as I made comment about Grahalis, as of to this point, 2-0, Russell holding it up. You know, he's not on his heels. He's not on the edge. He's relatively aggressive. He's staying in the center. You can disagree with, Greco techniques and things like that, but he's staying there in the center. He's staying relatively busy and active. You know, this is a great situation for him. You know, I think McFarland's got to be really happy with this kid right here.
Right.
Staying aggressive and staying offensive.
And as I mentioned, I'm sure that Joe was hoping that this was going to be the breakout year for Eric, and that he's so highly touted in high school and a lot of anticipation at Michigan, and it's not that he is disappointed. He's an outstanding wrestler. It's just that they have high standards for him. They won a national champion. Okay,
he has some big wins, but not consistency. Maybe he's lacked a little bit of consistency in his career. Probably be my assumption or my observation.
I'd agree with that. He had a big win last year against Ivan Lupushansky.
Right. Yeah.
From Purdue. At Purdue, came in at Purdue and beat Lupushansky. So.
And he might be getting a cradle on Nibert here right now to get him over. We got Nibert was the down wrestler at the start of the third period here, and he's trying to get up and break loose, but we almost had a cradle on him. And Grahalis doing a great job of forcing him down onto the mat, putting so much pressure on it. There's not much Nibert can do.
And he's locked into riding time, so no matter what happens from right now, he's got a point on the board that we're not seeing. So in a sense, he's up 3-0 right now over Nibert.
Sursa's still leading 1-0 down there, the #1 seed, mat number 3. Against Short, because they go out of bounds, a fresh restart, 1:44 to go in the third period. That match seems like it's going fast.
Minotti with the reversal had a big takedown first period, rode him out. Now he reversed him in the second.
Might be getting some backs, maybe.
Also on that one, I was told that the pronunciation is habit.
Habit.
Yep.
How to break a habit.
That's just what I was told, so we'll go with that until we hear otherwise.
Well, your life's full of good habits and bad habits.
Right.
So.
We've been fighting with that name for the last 2 years now.
Help us.
Let's hope we got it. Let's see what Sertzis does. As we mentioned, he hasn't been the breakaway wrestler that we expected to see here. His matches have all been relatively close. Right now he's up by a score of 1-0. They're in the third period with 1:18 to go. That's for the number 1 seed. You'd kind of expect a little bit more on that. You have to remember that Short is the number 8 seed. Okay, we've got Grijalva's 17 seconds to go. He's still holding on to Nybert, but if Nybert can pull his head out, well, he won't get it with the riding time. Oh, in fact, Grijalva's puts Nybert on his back.
Cradle.
He's got that front cradle.
He's picking up the count.
He's getting the 5 points on that, and that ends it. It's going to be
Joe McFarland's got to be ecstatic.
Well, the interesting thing is that back points with the riding time is going to make it an 8-0 win, meaning they're going to get an extra team point on that.
Sure, it's got to help Michigan in their standings.
Let's see what they do. Did they give 2 or 3 back points? It should have been 3, I thought.
Well, it seemed like he had the 5 count, but I don't know if they're going to get it. I think it's going to end up being a 7-0 with 7-0.
Well,
that's going to lack a point from a major.
That's what the scorer is saying, but we don't.
It was 2-0 going into that situation in the cradle. So, but like I said, I go back to it. You got to be happy with that. Grijalva's great chance, great time to turn the corner. You got to like what happened.
Yep. Okay. Let's see how we're doing with Rollo of George Mason. If he's the green wrestler, he's going to be up 5-3. Let's just double check and see, because Wisconsin should be the red wrestler.
Wisconsin is the red, yep.
So Rollo of Wrestling Unattached for George Mason is leading that one with 16 seconds to go. And what a coup for Joe Russell.
Yeah, right.
If Rollo makes it into the semifinals of the Midlands tournament, and the 51st Midlands to boot. Now I have to say, understandably, Rollo is backing up a little bit. He's just got to work off 2 more seconds.
A young man that pinned Darian Caldwell goes down, is that right?
That's right.
So the back gets that big pin over the number 1 seed and returning national champion Darian Caldwell. He had been out of action for a while, by the way, but Wisconsin wins that, is that right?
No, the George Mason wrestler, Rollo won.
Rollo won.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I was just going to say, wouldn't that be something if the George Mason wrestler, even if he didn't win it, if he makes it to the finals, what a publicity coup for Joe Russell, I'll tell you. And it was a good match out there.
Habit still out there?
Yeah, he's there's 1:30 to go, and
he trails
4-0.
Boy, that's a bad habit when that happens.
Okay, we're getting the 157-pound wrestlers out there, and St. John, Derek St. John is right out in front of us right there. He's wrestling
Sursus won.
Gresheimer.
2-0.
Victorious, 2-0. Yep.
Body tight point and the escape.
Yeah.
Another close call for Sursus, but again, if he wins this thing, there's not going to be an asterisk next year.
Yeah, all you got to do is win them one at a time by 1 or more points.
Yeah.
He's won a total of 4 matches by 9 points.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy, huh? Yep, close.
But what was the key words in that?
Win.
Yeah, right.
You win. Still getting W's. So.
Okay, over on the far side, mat number 2, we've got Scheidel of Columbia out there. You can tell by their uniforms he's going against
Powder blue.
Yeah, powder blue. You got Brendan Zurup of Eastern Michigan in the green uniforms. Let's see.
Big throw down there on mat number 3. Oh, I think that was a pin, guys. It didn't get caught. It didn't get called, but down there, match number 477.
Taylor Walsh. It's a pinner.
It looked like a pin. I don't know how they did not call that a pin. That Walsh had him flat on his back for a 2 count. And
you got to like Walsh. He goes for it.
I have to make a correction over here at about 476. And did we get a pin there? We just got a pin there.
Columbia's gets pinned.
Okay, and that was Isaac Jordan of Wisconsin. I miscalled that one. Isaac Jordan with a pin over Ryan. That's Chad Ryan of Columbia. And a nice job there. Ryan actually came out aggressively in the beginning, but Isaac Jordan really took it to him. So
that's gonna be a fun match if St. John gets through. Nice little fun length versus length type of match.
Yep. Okay, let's see. We got Nick Brissett out there. That's 478.
And who won between Habit and Minotti?
Well, I don't know. That was the one we can't see too well
this
over
is
here.
up. Still 1 second to go.
There it is, yeah.
Minotti's up 6-0.
Minotti is beating Habit.
5:46 riding time.
Habit's in trouble, guys.
5:46. Is that
Man,
That's riding time.
That deserves a record. Something to
Pretty
go in the record
close.
book. Yeah.
Pretty close. I don't know of any others.
I mean, that beats me, you know.
Yeah.
I've been on, of course, in mine, I'm not only being ridden, I'm on my back, you know, so I should get some credit for being able to spend 6 minutes and 55
Might have been
seconds
my
on my
career
back.
total. My career total, I don't know if it's 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Look at
but you
Taylor Walsh.
weren't a wrestler, so it does not say anything.
So
No,
Walsh in trouble there, Tom?
He's up 5-0.
Yeah.
Tries to get a little funky, gives up an escape, gives up a forced takedown, and comes back again. They're just
6'4". So.
But that's what he does. You know, he's gonna try to hit those home runs, score points, hit home runs, score points.
Yeah. Wow, 6'4". I haven't had a chance to watch him this year. I've just read about him.
6'4" in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I've just read about him. And I'll be frank with you guys. He had a pin in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen a pin, that was a pin. But we don't want any Tom Erickson's records going down, so.
Absolutely.
I guess,
You gotta love records being. That's why they have records. For somebody to break them.
I guess they all get broke eventually. Somebody told me in every sport, football, no matter what. So. That's Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. What can happen? Oh, big slam there by Minotti. So.
Not too happy over there, but that's all right.
Slammed down Habit, but Lehigh, there he goes. The Mountain Hawks are victorious.
Nice job by Minotti.
So we're going to have an unseeded wrestler, or 10th seed, 10th seed against the 6th seed in the semis down there.
Boy, he
bottom
looked a lot
149.
better than that.
That's big, guys, for Lehigh. All right, man. Sounds good. Go ahead and turn the page, even though the
Okay, well, we have this match here at 478. No, it's Brissetta.
Oh, yeah.
That's Brissetta wrestling unattached for Virginia Tech, and he's going against Zarep of Eastern Michigan. I'm correct on that, right? Zurup, excuse me, yeah.
Yes.
That's about 476. That's just started. That's the last of the 157-pound matches. It got delayed a bit because of the overtime match.
St. John's still wrestling here against Grisheimer, maybe? Grisheimer?
Johnny Gresheimer.
Oh, yeah, another Fighting Scott.
Wow, stole this right here in front of his consolation mat. Sorensen versus Nelson from Purdue. Brandon Sorensen from Iowa unattached. They ride each other out, except for the last 3 seconds. Sorensen gets an escape to win it 1-0.
Wow. Tough fought win there for Sorensen. Big win there out of Creston High School, Creston, Iowa.
You got to like some of your coaching in the corner with Brett Metcalf over there kind of pumping you up a
Yeah,
little bit.
right. Matt McDonough's been hanging around over there, too.
Yeah, he's talking to him right now.
Is he? Yeah. McDonough's been getting in his head and talking to him some. And
St. John, we talked about it earlier. St. John, he's not flashy. He can come out and blow you out of the water.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here he is, 5-0, riding time 6-0, coming down into the third period. Guess we'll probably end up happy.
It's going to end up strong, finishing strong.
9-1, major decision, coming up right at the last 30 seconds, going to take down a major decision.
Finishes strong. He does.
We just got a takedown for Nick Brissett against Zurup. And that's so the number 2 seed is on the board, 2-0. That match just started, as we mentioned before. There's a minute and a half to still go in the first period on that.
Zurup's the number 10 seed from Eastern Michigan.
That's correct.
So, but Brisetta's doing good. He's had a good tournament so far. Scored bonus points in every match so far. So,
well, it was sort of a surprise when he won this tournament before, but when Brissetta won it before, but it's going to be no surprise today if he does, or if he gets into the finals. There's no question about that. Of course, he only has to go up against the defending national champion.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Taylor Walsh. He got to look for the fall here. He's got to look for the fall out there.
Yeah, he does.
Taylor Walsh comes off the ball and gets a start.
He gets it. He started finished with the ref forgot, I think, the new rule.
He had to come around through him, and actually that kid's feet were on mat number 2 in the circle of mat number 2.
Yeah, big time.
Taylor Walsh with another fall.
Well, that ended like it
Reverse
started.
headlock, yeah.
Because he had that young man on his back the first 10 or 15 seconds, too, in the match, and it didn't get called, but
well,
it still ended up the same results. It just took a little longer.
It took
just
the
took a while.
He didn't realize he should be trying near fall out there.
Exactly.
Now, he was a good 3 to 4 feet off the mat. That was a perfect example.
He was almost on the other mat. Let's get it that way.
You called it, Tom.
Okay, Nick Bracetta out there. It's tightened up a little bit. It's now 2-1 with an escape in the first period, 30 seconds to go. Nice takedown initially. Here's another high crotch move by Bracetta. Gets in there. He's got the knee up. He's trying the back flip, but they're at the edge of the mat. Let's see what happens.
Scores table.
And he's going to get it there. There's
nice
2 more points for Nick Bracetta. Nice move along the edge. Actually, they were right near the table there.
Wow, nice limp arm throw by.
Yeah.
Turned it back on, took it down on the edge.
Yeah, so 4-1 lead for Nick Bracetta. Unattached this year, redshirting for Virginia Tech. And I'm sure that, do we see Kevin Dresser over there somewhere close, grinning probably?
Yeah, he's
now.
God, I hate to break my arm, pat myself on the back here. What's the score on mat number 5?
9-2. You called it to the number. You said it was going to be 9 to something or other.
With the riding time points, 10-2. Match ends. Last 30 seconds. Here is a major decision.
You've seen it. You've seen it, Tom Erickson. You call it. So.
And it's a compliment. I'm not even knocking. That's a great. You just got to count on him. He's just going to grind. Point here, point there. You look up. 8-point major decision. A nice bonus point.
Okay, we've got an escape there by Zurup against Bracetta, and that makes it 4-3 at this point. I thought it was going to be 4-2, but it's 4-3 actually. And there's 1:30 to go in the second period, so that's a close match. Even though we've got the 2 takedowns, really good takedowns by Bracetta.
1-point match. That is close, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was not close at all in the beginning, and now all of a sudden it's just tightened up. It's, what can we say? We're going to see if, I thought we were going to get a stalemate call, and we do get a stalemate call. No takedown. Both wrestlers will be going back to the standing position. 1:15 to go in the in the second period. And that 4-1 lead has been whittled to 4-3.
We've got a tied up match 2-2 in match number 484 between Cooper Moore, Northern Iowa, and Jackson Morrissey from Illinois. So we got Northern Iowa and Fighting Illini and the Panther locking it up there on mat number 2. Tied up 2-2, 1:53 to go in the third period. What do you see, Greg Zampros?
Nick Bracetta shoots in again, gets nice and tight on that single leg, comes up behind, but he hasn't gotten Zurup down yet for the 2 points. He's close now. He's stepping over the leg, and the referee gives the extra 2 points. So it's 6-3, and let's see if he can hold on for 35 seconds because he's been letting him up. If he does, 6-4, and there's still not much of a lead.
I think he's looking to try to catch that riding.
Oh, and
he let it go.
He did let him go, so it's 6-4. So that match stays tight, and I'll tell you, if Nick Bracetta makes one mistake, it's going to be a whole different ball game.
Tie it up just as fast as that, so yeah, that's for sure. So,
just kind of running through the brackets a little bit. We talked about the team scoring, stuff like that. If you look at what Iowa's done, we talked about that. They've got 5 through.
Oh boy.
I would assume that they counted both Gilman and Clark as point getters. That would count for 5 guys through.
Man, that's a lot of points.
7 points a shot. That's 35 points you're going to add onto their score. That's without any bonus points. I haven't looked through the bonus points.
Yeah, and they got some.
35,
they did get some.
And they still have a couple guns with Telford and a couple other guys coming through.
Lofthouse,
Burek, and Telford.
Right. Good position to be in.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're going to the third period, and Bracetta took down, and he gets an escape almost immediately and goes up by a score of 7-4. They're in the standing position, Bracetta's been dominant out in the standing position. He's gotten those takedowns. He's getting ready to get another one. Just spins behind. He is so fast. He's got that leg lifted up. He's trying to kick the other leg out.
He got it.
The referee didn't signal it yet. Now, he did give it. They put it up there. Kind of a meek signal there. So that makes it 9-4. Now a little bit of a spread.
Steve Monk going against Holdsworth from Columbia. So we got North Dakota State Bison against Columbia out here. Columbia wearing their powder blue singlet. Easy to see them. That singlet almost glows in the dark here, or glows in the light, however you want to say.
Taylor Massa from unattached from Michigan over there on mat number 3 is up. I can't even see the clock.
Tough, isn't he? Wow.
got that little
Is that arm bar and half Nelson
or something? Yeah.
Let's see.
There it is.
Oh, boy, he's got
He's
him
going to
down.
get that. He ain't getting up from that. That was tight.
Got it. That's it. So a big pin there. Match number 485. Tyler Massa.
Cooper Moore.
So Cooper Moore did defeat DeMorrissey, so the number 5 seed for Northern Iowa beat the Fighting Illini.
Okay. So we still have this Bracetta match out there, which is kind of, for the weight classes, lagging a little bit behind. And then there's still 35 seconds to go. So we have 3 matches out there at 165, and that's still that Bracetta match at 157. Right now, Bracetta is leading 10-5, 35 seconds to go. And he has the riding time point with 1:11 right now. And he shoots in again. They were standing. He shoots in again. It's the same single leg on it. Spins around behind. This
Takedown
is
clinic.
Beautiful wrestling. And then there's an escape on it. So it goes 12-6 at this point. 20 seconds to go. But it looks like we're going to have a victory for Nick Bracetta.
I can't believe we didn't pick up on this. If you look over at mat number 5, you got Steve's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, Steve Monk.
Oh, yeah, Steve Monk.
0-0.
Yeah.
Second period, going to be what 1-0 now
Yeah,
for
against
Monk
Columbia.
in escape?
Against Columbia's Holdsworth. Yeah, so, wow, just escape, yeah, for Monk, so he leads now 1-0. But Holdsworth doing a good job just staying out from basing out, not getting any pinning position. So,
So what was the final score?
Bracetta won that. I believe it's going to be 11-6. Excuse me.
well, he's up 12-6.
Was it 12? And then he should get the 1 point. So, yeah, that's 13. Right. He got that last one. It'll be 13-6 with the riding time.
Well, you got to like if Bracetta stays off his back, he's got a chance to beat Walsh.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, if he stays out of the craziness, I think he's got a chance to beat Walsh. You know, it's all predictions. We can go all day long with all that stuff.
Brachetta's good. That'll be fun. That'll be good because Brachetta's solid, got awesome takedowns, and Walsh is one of the most dangerous guys in the tournament.
Yes.
Would you put him in that category, Tom?
Oh, absolutely. He's going out. He's trying to get 6. He wrestles to get 6.
Monk.
We talked about it earlier today. He's going out there to wrestle to get 6. He's not out there just to win matches. He's going out there to pin a guy.
He's a pinner. Brachetta has proved himself over and over and over the years that he's for real. Brachetta's he's a stud. He's a good one. Like to have Tyler Walsh and Steve Monk wrestle. How's that? Different weight classes.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But although Monk, look at this, the Columbia young man's Holdsworth's doing a really good job here against Monk. 1-0.
We should remind you that while we're reporting on the championship bouts, there are 2 mats here and 2 mats in the other room that are having the wrestle
which
back.
we can't call, so.
Yeah, there's just too much going on, but we've got a wrestler from Brown going against a wrestler from Iowa over here, and it looks like a good match, but there's just so much we can do. We're going to be focusing on these quarterfinal matches right now.
And our favorite hairdo over here is Mr. Pickett.
Yeah.
From Lehigh.
Yeah. It's almost Ben Askren, but not quite.
Ben Askren. I'll give you even one better.
Who's that?
The Simpsons. Sideshow Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, Sideshow Bob. That looks like
for some of us, I'm not sure if everybody followed that one. But,
Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob
is.
with the hairstyle.
He got it. Home run, Tom Erickson. Hit her out of the park, buddy. That's a good one. And match number 486 has Pierce Harger from Northwestern.
Right.
Pierce Harger against the number 2 seed Nick Moore of Iowa. You ready? No points scored in the whole entire first period.
Yeah,
Harger's tough.
Yeah, Pierce Harger.
Wow.
He had a couple tough years before, but he has improved so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's amazing. I have to admit, being honest about it, the first couple times I saw him wrestle here at Welsh Ryan Arena, not necessarily at the Midlands, but in dual meets, I was not that impressed. I was not sure that he was going to be able to move himself up to the next level. But he's been showing today that he can do that.
It's tough.
And I think it was showed he was the number 7 seed, so he was not taken lightly. And I have to give credit where credit is due.
Third period, 47 seconds to go. Monk only up by 1. This Holdsworth, he's done a really good job of just not allowing this match to go to the mat. Keep Monk on your feet is the key, and you won't get cradled.
Okay, let's tell people.
Nice shot here by Holdsworth. Can he hold Monk?
Nice shot. Monk gonna funk around a little roll.
Yeah. Monk the Funkmeister. He's trying to do some extra stuff.
He's going to score with this. Wow, he let go the foot.
Oh, man, he had that far ankle. I thought he had it trapped, and he should have ran it, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. But
okay, we have some matches going on out there in the 165-pound class.
Yeah,
and
number 1 seed.
And some at the 174-pound weight class.
They keep jumping up.
Yeah, so we're jumping back and forth a little bit, but that's what's out there, and that's what we got to report on.
Monk wins 1-0.
Wow. We did not expect that. But again, it's the Columbia wrestlers. And,
Holdsworth.
And I have to say that I remember reading recently that Columbia got a couple of really, really good recruits coming in next year. So
there's another Columbia. Your powder blue, 2 in a row. Holdsworth, even though he came up shy, 1-0. That Monk, he's been pinning machine. He usually gets bonus points for Roger Kish and the North Dakota State Bison.
Yeah, this is Shane Hughes for Columbia, and he's going to be going against Riddick. And we've been talking about Elliot Riddick of Lehigh all along here. He was wearing his white uniform before.
Yeah, Riddick.
Now they've switched to their
I know he's got some
uniforms.
fans out there, too, want to know how he's doing, so we'll be covering Riddick.
Okay, so we have out there right now about 491. That's Mike Evans of Iowa. He's going against Liegel of that's Wisconsin, isn't it? And then we have Zach Epperly, wrestling unattached, but he's at Virginia Tech. He's the number 12 seed, and he's going against Warford.
Yeah.
Okay, and Warford is also wrestling unattached, but he is with Michigan State. And then the match we just told you about, Riddick and Hughes going out there, and then we're going to be waiting for Gutches and Zillmer when one of these matches ends.
And Harper's been living dangerously. If I remember correctly, he's had his first 2 matches, he won by 2 and 1 points. I think he had to get late takedowns to win both those matches, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right, actually, you are.
Then he gets into the second round and the third round over here, and he kind of opened up with an 8-2 win, but he's kind of living dangerously over there.
Pierce Harger and Moore, you ready? Number 2 seed for Iowa, tied up 2-2 going in third period. Pierce Harger doing a good job for the Wildcats. Against the number 2 seed, 4th ranked in the nation, 3rd to 4th ranked, depending on your rankings, for Nick Moore of Iowa at 165 pounds. So Pierce Harger doing a good job. And is it Evans out there? Do we got Mike Evans out there?
Yeah, he's out there, and he's ahead by a score of 4-3.
Up by 1.
Liegel in the second period. Liegel of Wisconsin.
Liegel of Wisconsin, Scott Liegel. So see if Evans can pull that out for the Hawks. They need some more team points, you know.
Yeah, what I counted 6 already in for those guys.
Oh man, they've just.
And if you get more, you know,
taken
more
over this
could be
tournament.
7, and then
right, yeah.
Evans 8.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if talking about Midland's history, I don't know if we've ever had a team with all 10 point getters get to the semifinals.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be one that you kind of whisper in Mr. Kraft here if that's ever happened before.
Yeah, that'd be tough to.
Because if you look at it now, they're all favored to get in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So definitely on paper, they were the favorite, I think, as a team. Northwestern, with Munster being out and the heavyweight there, McMullen, that probably helped Iowa a little bit. Not saying that their guys wouldn't have been able to beat Munster or not.
Okay, we're in an overtime. Are we in an overtime over on mat number 3 there? It's got a 6 up there.
Well,
going 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 right now.
But how do you get 1 minute and 24 seconds to go if you're in the overtime? There's nothing in an overtime that's minute 26, so something is wrong.
119, 120 in the ride time, so the ride time is wrong. You can't have ride time in overtime like that, 1 minute.
Right.
The most you're going to get is 30 seconds.
Right, and the actual score itself is showing Warford of Michigan State leading Epperly, both unattached wrestlers, but Warford from Michigan State, Epperly from Virginia Tech. But there's something wrong with that scoreboard over there.
Not sure what happened, so to speak, but Nick Moore kind of opened up a little lead over here on mat number 2 with the 5-3 lead. They went into that third period, I think, 2-2 or something like that.
Yep.
Couple escapes and takedowns.
Okay, Zach Epperly of Virginia Tech on top now, and again, we don't exactly know what period they're in. Showing 44 seconds to go.
Wow. Evan's still up 6-3. They're down there for Iowa, so.
He's got 2 points over.
For Pierce Harder or for Moore? Moore.
For Moore, that ties it up. No,
no, it takes. He gets the lead now.
Yeah.
That's the match, right?
Yeah.
No riding time.
Yeah, Nick Moore gets through.
But a good job by Pierce Harder.
He kept it close. He
did.
kept it within striking distance. So.
Did we ever see Massa and Snook wrestle?
I didn't see it.
Tyler Massa.
And he had to be on one of these 4 mats. I don't know how we lost him in the
Massa
shuffle.
was up. He was leading. He was down on mat 5, I believe.
Yes.
Tyler Massa was up. Last I saw, he was getting some takedowns. So.
Okay, I'm guessing here that we're going to have a win for Zach Epperle. Let's see what happens here. Shake hands. Yes, Zach Epperle. That scoreboard was messed up. Looks like a
match number 492. Is that right?
Right.
So
it looks like 8-2 or 8-3. It was something like that. There was 7 up there, and there was riding time. So we've got Zach Epperle unattached, but with
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, with Virginia Tech, and
VTech brings lots of unattached people here.
Well, they have them, you know, with Rosetta and Epperle and whatever. And the reason for that is that Kevin Dresser tends to have his wrestlers like Devin Carter, like Joey Dance, and that to wrestle their first year and then redshirt their second year. So they're more experienced wrestlers in their second year, and experienced enough that he feels he can bring them to the Midlands tournament.
It works. He's successful.
Yeah.
That's a nice and a little different strategy than most coaches.
It is. It's completely different. And I have to say that
seems to work.
Well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like we said last year, if Devin Carter
backfired.
Yeah, if Devin Carter were not redshirting, Virginia Tech would have won this, and the prestige that goes along with that would have been really helpful. But let's put it this way. Kevin Dresser is one of the finest coaches in the country, and I'm not going to second guess him for a minute.
Yeah, and human being from Humboldt, Iowa.
That's absolutely right.
Humboldt, up there by Algona and Fort Dodge, Iowa. Home of Wild Bill Cole.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what we've got going on out there.
Riddick is out 2-1 over Hughes from Columbia.
Only 6 seconds to go in the second period, so Riddick just up by 1.
We're going to get a pin out there over on the far side on 494, and that's Gutchis and Zilmer out there. Let's see who's who. And Zilmer is with North Dakota State.
That's Gutchis on top.
Yeah, Gutchis from Southern Oregon.
We got the pin relation to Les Gutchis.
Yeah, you
a relative. I think a nephew, I believe. It's a nephew. Okay. But Les Gutchis, for those of you who've been around a few days, know he was a phenomenal wrestler.
Right. Yeah, that match where he beat Cale Sanderson was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's right.
But let's give credit not only to Gutchis for his win here, but also for the program out there at Southern Oregon in Ashland, Oregon.
Yep, we talked about that earlier in the show.
Right, so
exciting.
Yeah, a great job to send Gutchis here and make a name for that team, and I'm hoping that they'll be bringing some, if not more, wrestlers back again next year.
Well, Gutchis will be wrestling either Hughes or Riddick.
Riddick. Yeah.
Keep wanting to say Riddick. Sorry, that's
your company.
That's my company for Riddick.
Okay, Riddick goes in there. Oh, is he going to get that one or not? Let's see. We got a counter. And a spin around. We've got the scoreboard in the way. Maybe? Is Hughes going to get? They're both falling down. There's no points. They're near the edge right now. Got some funk wrestling. Riddick is in tight, holding the legs, but Hughes is going over the back. And we can't see the point. Well, okay, now we can see it a little bit better. They're at the edge of the mat. 1:13 to go. And somebody may pull this out. I'd say right now that Riddick is in the better position.
We've seen him do this before.
That is the hardest working guy.
Down here.
Stuck in shots, takes great shots and just does not finish.
Nobody's got it yet, and they call the stalemate on that, bring him back. Whoa, what a tug of war that one was.
You know, that's fine if you're leading to do that, because then you're eating up some time.
Right.
I would think I'd want to. His percentage rate as finishing isn't quite there, but he's a good kid. He's long and lanky, and he's got great shots, though.
Okay,
has great shots.
And let's remember that score is tied at 2-2, and riding time is not a factor, and will not be a factor in one more second. So
48 seconds to go in the third and final period. Somebody's got to shoot.
Interesting happenings over on mat number 3. We've got Lofthouse. Nico Reyes from Illinois is leading Evan Lofthouse 2-1.
And Lofthouse is the #1 seed.
Yes, he is.
Oh, here's a shot in by Riddick, and he gets in tight, but a nice nice sprawl there by Hughes, and he leads back. They go to the edge. And Hughes is trying to throw him over. It's a dangerous hold. It's a dangerous move.
It's all about hips right there, right, Coach?
And they break and go out of bounds. No scoring on that. They go back to the center. It's 17 seconds to go. Tie score. Third period. Riding time not a factor. Let's see what happens. I think we're headed for overtime.
It's about keeping your hips and your head higher than your opponent. I've done a lot of play-by-play with Dan Gable, and he said, keep your head off the mat, your hips higher than your opponent. 9 times out of 10, you're getting the takedown.
One of the things he used to scream as a coach, high man wins, high man wins.
Yeah, right. You don't want to bury your head or drop your hips, or want to stay high. Keep that elevation up there. Absolutely. Lofthouse, boy, they're all tied up 2-2 down there. The #1 seed for Iowa. So,
okay, let's see what happens.
Gonzalez out there with an early takedown. We're up at 197. We're all over the place. We got 74-pounders up here and all the way 97-pounders.
Boy, they're locking it up, aren't they?
And probably going to get an escape here. So Gonzalez early takedown with Rao coming back with an escape.
Okay, we're still in that overtime here with Riddick and Hughes, and they've got 45 seconds to go in that first 1-minute overtime period. And, you know, Riddick has been more aggressive with the shots, but we've had nice counters by Hughes, but they've been close. Now we've got another shot and a spin behind by Hughes, and he gets the
big win over Riddick.
Oh,
Hughes from Columbia. You know what? I'll applaud him. But
unseeded defeats in overtime the #3 seed Riddick on a nice move at the end. And what's funny about it is that
Riddick goes down.
Yeah, that's about Hughes' only offensive move in this match. So he did it when it counted, and a wrestler that we've enjoyed watching. Riddick is out of the championship round. So
yes, he is. Hughes wins it.
So we've got Hughes going against Gutches, which is pretty interesting there. So we've
That'll be fun.
We've got Columbia, and we've got going against Southern Oregon, two teams that have not been noted for
geographically long ways from each other.
East versus West.
I dare you to drive to each one of them campuses. You won't do it in the same day, I don't think.
Okay, that was a good match in overtime.
That was a good match.
That was excellent. Okay, let's see who's out there.
Lofthouse
is he still down?
He's leading.
4-2.
Yeah,
he leads.
You had to come back on that one.
Nico Reyes from Illinois. So.
If I'm not mistaken, the count up to 174 is Iowa 7 out of the 10 with 3 left to wrestle.
Wow.
Point getters, all their point getters will have got, well, 7 of their point getters so far have gotten in. That's 49 points.
Yeah.
This is the Hawks tournament, I think.
Let me mention that out on mat #6, we've got match 500, and that's Ofer Bernstein of Brown going against Judson of Kurt Judson of North Dakota State. I should add just a little bit of interest here is that Ofer Bernstein is a wrestler from Israel. And he's come to wrestle in this country. He's gone to an excellent school, Brown, and he's out there with Todd Beckerman and making a real show of it this year.
That's awesome, all the way from Israel.
Right. So, and we've had a number of wrestlers from various countries, especially Uzbekistan.
Yeah, right.
Most of late in that, but this is the first time I remember a wrestler coming from Israel.
Czechoslovakians.
Yeah, but we're glad to see it. So that match is just starting. The score is 2-0. Let's see who's leading in that one. We'll just check it out for you. I presume that Brown is in the green, and they would be leading by a score of 3-0.
And right now, Lofthouse leads 6-3. 51 seconds go in the third period. In the third period, down there between Lofthouse and his opponent, and Reyes from the Illinois, Nico Reyes, Fighting Illini. 2-0 is their score down here in favor of, the Michigan wrestler Trails.
Oh, Herbal. Okay. We want to thank Herbalite for their sponsorship. Is that it, or what are we going to do here? This is a
4-2 is the score over here with Mario Gonzalez leading for Fighting Illini. 1:49 to go in the second period. 36 seconds riding time.
And he might get tilted.
He is getting tilted almost there by Raul, right?
Yes.
This is an opponent. That Raul seems dangerous. I know at the beginning, boy, he had some power moves he was trying to throw there on Mario Gonzalez, but Gonzalez was wise enough not to fall for any of that stuff.
Lofthouse settles Nico Reyes down and gets through, which goes to number 8 for the Hawkeyes, gotten him through the round. So I'll tell you what, Tom was probably, he must have done something after that Penn State duel, because as of right now, they've got 8 guys through into the semifinals, guaranteed place,
they're in charge.
Point getters, and they got 2 guys left with Burek and Telford, and both of them are, on paper, are favored to win.
Okay, Ofer Bernstein Brown is leading by a score of 2-0. We have a break in the action over there. Let's see what it is. Okay, now they're coming back, and Bernstein takes the down position. He's ahead by a score of 2-0. And there's a minute and 49 seconds of riding time that go with that 2-point takedown. So essentially it's 3 at this point. And Bernstein just stands up, peels the hands off, turns around, goes up by a score of 3-0 now. Minute and 50 to go in the second period.
We're scoreless down there between Shiptalk and Brooks, but Shiptalk just gets 2 points for the Maryland Terps. He's up now 2-0.
Oh, the
2:18 to go in the first period. The trifecta.
The 3 Musketeers from Maryland. Okay, we're going to have Christian Boley in the next round, and then the heavyweight is
Myers.
Myers, right. So.
Shiptalk, Boley, and Myers. They're the 3-row, what would you call them, 3 Musketeers?
Yep.
They're good, man. The trifecta for Maryland, and Coach Kerry McCoy and company out there. And I think Tyrone Lewis is out there. Is that right? Tyrone Lewis? Nate Carr Jr. is coaching for him now, I see. So, good coaching staff out there in Maryland. And we're still, what's our score up here between 197 pounds? Oh, Mario Gonzalez now up by 4 over Raul. Jay Raul from the Minnesota Storm wrestling for the Storm out of Minnesota, and they go out of bounds. That's the end of the second period. 5 seconds of riding time in favor of Raul. Raul's got enough power and danger that he could throw Mario Gonzalez possibly here, but Gonzalez starts on top. 7-3. Third and final score. I think Boley's going to be down here on 5. I see him warming up here, Greg Zafros.
Well, that'll be good to watch. Now, over on mat number 6 there, that Ofer Bernstein has gone up by a score of 5-1 with 2 minutes of riding time, essentially 6-1. So he's in pretty good control on that match, and he's wrestling against Avery. That is Vic Avery of Edinburgh.
Bernstein, Edinburgh's look good, and Browns look good, so these 2 East Coast teams come to the Midwest to sort it out. That's the way it goes a lot of times with these tournaments. So Edinburgh and Lehigh. Bernstein, Edinburgh and Brown. So 39 seconds to go in the second period. Down there between Edinburgh and Brown.
Okay,
Edinburgh trailing.
We're being reminded that we were going to try to keep a track on Ryan Fillingham. So after these this round here, actually, maybe we might have to wait. If you could check that out. We're still at 5-1 with 20 seconds to go in the second period for Ofer Bernstein of Brown. He's doing a nice job out there. He's wrestling very calmly. You know, he's not getting excited or anything.
Right.
And he's and here he's going to get another 2 points for the takedown. He's up by a score of 7-1. With the riding time, he's up 8-1. So a nice job by Bernstein out there.
Yeah, Bernstein's looking tough. He just looks real solid at every position. Yeah. He just doesn't get his hips out of position. Attacks and shoots when he needs to, and scores the vast majority of the time. So.
Well, I'd like to find out more about that, because that's characteristic of a lot of international wrestlers, you know, and European wrestlers, or you know, the Soviet wrestlers and whatever, where you know they're not going to be thrown off balance because they have such good control of their hips. And that's something that we wrestle a different style here, and we don't have that same kind of emphasis. But Bernstein, what I'm impressed with is that he is so calm out there.
Yes.
Now he has a pretty decent lead, but it wasn't always that way.
7-1. Yeah. It's up by 6, so he's wrestling tough, and that is the way the Soviet wrestlers Also, and you notice most of the Soviet wrestlers are from Russia. Have you noticed that? It just seems like that's the way.
Well, some of them came from the Ukraine, Ukraine or whatever, or Latvia or whatever.
Yugoslavia. Mongolia.
Okay, well, we got a takedown try there again by Bernstein again. This time he's not going to get it quite as easily as he had before.
Work forward.
Gets it. Avery's going to get the takedown. So, okay, so Vic Avery of Edinburgh is going to get that takedown on Bernstein. That now tightens it up a little bit, 7-3. But remember, there's still the riding. There's still riding time. So it's basically 8-3, and now Bernstein gets the escape. That's going to make it essentially 9-3 with the riding time, 55 seconds to go. So it's going to be a little bit hard for Avery to come back on this one, but he made a good shot at it to try to tighten it up. How are we doing with Mario?
He's still leading 10-6 over Raul.
Okay.
Raul doing some shooting there, but you ready? 3, 2, 1. It's over. And you're fighting Illini. Mario Gonzalez moves on for Coach Jim Heffernan and company.
Well, I think that he's going to prove the seeders correctly that he should have been the #1 seed.
So far, so good.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Coach Jim Heffernan is extremely excited about that. You know, having one guy come through like that to add to your team, and that can make the difference for a team, and maybe this is the year for Gonzalez to do that. Okay, the score now is 8-3 still with the riding
Bernstein
time.
Leading, correct? Yes.
Okay, let's look over at mat number 3, see what we have going on there. That's 5:02.
Shiptock
and Brooks. And it's tightened up a little bit there, 3-1 in the second period.
With Shiptock leading.
They are not going to confirm or deny who the point getters are, but with 3 left, they're all in. So I got to assume, I don't know right here, but I think that they need this match with Shiptock. I don't know if Brooks is one. They're not going to tell us, but as
he's
of right
been doing varsity for him all year.
Right.
He has been their varsity guy. So Burak, I think, is just in here unattached, getting some experience. And
so, Burak might not be the guy. Well, he's unattached, so they need right here, which will be 9.
You mentioned earlier, too, that you talked about they still thinking about keeping Burak in a redshirt situation. I believe they can do that.
Yeah.
Iowa, up to this point. So.
Okay, now we have none other than Christian Boley coming out. By the way, Bernstein won that match. They wiped the score off actually before his hand was raised, so I didn't get the final score, but he was up about 9-4 or something
Bernstein
at the end.
Was victorious. I saw his hand go up.
Yeah, so a good match by him. Did a nice job. And
for Brown.
We're going to see him in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes Christian Boley. He's going against McNeil. That's Donald McNeil of Ryder.
What did they give a point for? Is that a penalty point there in the Brooks and Shiptock match?
Yeah, some type of, I don't know, Brooks got it, right? He got the point.
Yeah, because they moved. It was 3-1 going into that little scramble, little flurry. Minute 23 left, riding time not a factor, 3-2.
Interesting fact about Brooks is he is now wrestling at 84. He's been wrestling at 97 a lot this year, by the way. He's been up to 97.
Well, that had to be tough for him because with the weight certification formula.
Weigh in at 84.
You're thinking, well, you don't have to weigh in at 84.
Okay.
You have to weigh.
Certify there.
You have to certify there, which he did. You can wrestle 97, and you can weigh in at the above weight class, but you have to be within range to lose the weight before your next competition. 1.5% of your body fat a week.
Wow.
So, they got to do the math. I'll tell you what, because we used to do that at Purdue when we had kids go up a little bit. What can you weigh in at? The exact number you have to weigh in at.
Okay, we got Shiptock out there.
Brooks back in.
Yeah, he had his ankle, and Brooks is all the way out except that ankle, and Shiptock's going to pull him in now.
Yep. Awesome.
Is he going to get it?
He kicks, turns back in, kicks, turns back in. That's one of those things.
Smart.
Pat McCormick talks about you can't kick straight out,
Yep.
He'll kick, and he turns back in. It kind of
saves from the takedown, and Shiptock grabbing the other ankle.
Great job. 40 seconds left. We're coming down the line. Can Brooks get this?
Boy, he needs it. 40 seconds for the Iowa Hawkeyes to run the table here.
And Shiptock is backing up.
Double underhooks there. Nice little head shock there by Brooks.
There's a shot in by Shiptock. Boy, courageous on that one, or depending on how it turns out.
Best offense is defense often, but you don't want to get hit by for stalls here for Shiptock. So he's got to wrestle smart.
Sammy Brooks isn't that from too far away, Oak Park River Forest High School.
Yeah, tough kid.
Coached by Mike. I saw Mike walk by a little bit earlier.
He's a tough kid. He's wrestled good for Iowa this year.
Okay. They're way over the line some, but there's still enough in to be in. Let's see if anybody's going to get it, and the referee breaks it.
Not going to get it.
Okay.
Iowa's not going to get their 10. They're going to get 9.
Yeah.
Well, as of right now, they've got 7 with 2 to go.
Yeah. Okay, so Jimmy Shepduck wins that one, the first of the 3 Musketeers, or what was the other thing we had? The trifecta. Yeah. And we've got Kristen Boley out here with a slight lead at 197. A 2-0 lead with 1 minute to go in the first period. And again, he's wrestling McNeil. That's Donald McNeil of Ryder, who was the 10th seed. Kristen Boley, of course, was the 2nd seed.
Do we know, did Albanator, did he win, or Brown? I'm not sure. Do you know Nate Brown from Lehigh?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Mat number 5, so Albanator. I think we might have stayed away from him just because of his name. He's a great wrestler, a good kid, but that's an interesting name.
Yeah,
I'd like to know the Dominic Albanator. I'd like to know the nationality.
Yeah, it's not an AL, it's an AB, so it's Albanator. That was another one of the names that I was corrected on earlier, and whatever that the correction was made to the score.
What's the nationality? The person correct you, ask them the nationality of that, would you?
From Abanatarica.
Yeah, there you go. Where's the Musha Steak? Where was the Musha Steaky from then?
Right.
Musha Steakyville?
Well, he's was it Portuguese or something like that, Catalonian, something like that.
It really would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
That was a fun name to say, guys.
Yeah, it took us a year to get that one on our tongue. Okay, we've got a lot going. Kristen Boley is now it's tightened up 2-1 with 27 seconds to go in the first period. So that Maryland team, they want to get this trifecta. They want all 3 of these matches to go get themselves into the semifinals, because this is where the points start to roll up. The team points start to roll up.
Bobby Telford out early with the early takedown in the first period. That's the most aggressive I've seen him go out there.
Yeah, that's usually. Yeah, he likes to capitalize on people's mistakes, but I know you watched the duel between him and Larson. I think Telford, Tom Erickson, was fortunate to get out of that.
Yeah, he got sloppy with his legs, and he got that reversal real late in that third period and hang on to that win.
I talked to Kel, and he loves the way Jimmy Larson's wrestling this year, too, though.
But he's been out for so long.
Penn State.
You know, I mean, this is his first full season of college wrestling. Yeah. You know, so
he's looked good.
You got to be happy. He's one of the top 20 kids in the country, and you got to be happy for a guy who's basically only wrestling college Division I for about a year and a half.
Is that unreal? Kel said he loves it because he's attacking too. He said he's actually attacking people. Last year, first year out, he just did a lot of standing around, and it's showing. Look at his record. I think he has his first loss of the year.
Yeah. Over on mat number 6, remember we've got a Northwestern wrestler, and we are wrestling here at Northwestern.
Yeah,
so he's the
team.
hometown favorite. That's Polizzi for Northwestern. He's going against Atwood from what's the name of that school down there in Lafayette? Purdue, I guess it is.
I think it is.
I think it's Purdue.
Neil Armstrong. Oh, that's Neil Armstrong went to school there.
Oh, he did. Okay.
First person to step foot on the surface of the moon.
Yeah,
Neil Armstrong.
We won't hold that against him. Okay.
And I got a neighbor back in Iowa, literally. His name is Neil Armstrong, one of the Armstrong brothers.
Okay, no score. Excuse me, there's 1 point out there for the green wrestler. Let's happen to see which one is the green wrestler. I'll check it out for you. Okay, it looks like Atwood has got that 1 point there.
No, that's Polizzi. Polizzi got an escape in 5 seconds.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Polizzi's in the red, got the escape in 5 seconds. Here we go to the third. Now it's Atwood's turn to take the bottom position.
So, wow, big score there. 1-0. We got a 1-pointer down here between Christian Boley and his opponent, Boley being the number 2 seed against the McNeil.
Number 10, I think McNeil is the number 10 seed.
Number 10, so McNeil from Ryder.
Yeah, so no slouch there.
I got excited. I apologize for getting excited over Telford. He came out and scored so quickly, Now it's still 2-0, although he's got, 2 minutes of riding time.
Yeah, a lot of riding time. Yeah.
He just gets himself an escape just because he heard that, you know?
Yeah.
He gave you some kind of a gesture there. I don't know what that means.
Got real excited for him. He's out after it early, then he just kind of sits around on it. So.
Okay, what do we have on mat number 2? Let's see on that one. That's 5-0. Oh, that's Burek out there against Penny from Virginia Tech. And this is
a barn burner, guys. 7-6 for the big guys, 197 pounders.
Yep.
And there's been a lot more action than just 7-6 too. These guys have been throwing the hay at each other. It's been fantastic to watch.
Yeah. And we mentioned earlier that's a 197-pound weight class, and Chris Penny spent a lot of last year wrestling heavyweight.
Yeah.
Pelesian on a shot on Atwood. Atwood defends it nicely.
Well, it looks like a throw try there, a high amplitude throw. Setting up with a clinch, but
Pelesi is a Greco-Roman Fargo national champion.
Wow, and so he loves the upper body stuff.
He shows it in his stance there. Upright stance with underhooks.
Supper tonight with Mr. Atwood, wasn't it? We were talking to Tom.
Yes.
He's the dad of this young man from Purdue.
Interesting situation on mat number 2. We've got a 1-point lead out there. On that one for Burek over Chris Penny, but Chris Penny is the down wrestler, so if he can get the escape, he'll be able to tie the score up.
Did you see that duck?
He's got to get under. No, I didn't see it. No. Good one, huh?
Atwood. Kind of like it. I'm sorry, I didn't
Atwood.
He
yeah.
get a little excited.
Probably
See
worked on him
that's
with
so nice and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. Still tied up though between him and Pelesi.
30 seconds. We're coming down the stretch here. Somebody's got to go after it. I haven't seen Pelesi really go after it, so to speak, but Atwood's got a little pressure on him.
Okay, for our Virginia Tech fans, we just have an escape there by Chris Penny at 197 pounds against Burke of Iowa. So that ties it up at 77-7 with 44 seconds to go.
Boy, Atwood in on a shot, Tom Erickson.
Yep.
Wow, trying to come out the back door here. Can he turn the corner or not? Pelesi in a cradle roll situation here.
Time.
Oh, boy, I come up a little short. Wow. I did notice, though, that's about 3 shots to none in favor of Atwood there towards the third period. So Atwood's been taking the shots, as of recent anyway, last like 30 seconds or 45 seconds.
Okay, thanks for Jim Hall for emailing in here. He gives us a little information on Bernstein. He says about Bernstein, Ofer Bernstein, that his dad wrestled in high school in Texas. He represents Israel, but is from the U.S.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that. I spent time with the Greek national team, and
you did.
And there's not much time, mostly on my back.
Yeah,
but whatever.
What a scramble.
Look at this for the sudden victory, guys.
That's potentially dangerous. Watch his knee. Watch his knee.
Watch Atwood's knee, man.
Jason, he's going to slip this. Nope. Atwood regripped it.
Atwood, good thing he kept a hold of that leg, huh? Wow, that's tough. Watch the knee. It's the same knee. Boy, how can the referee not? Watch that knee. Needs to come out of that.
Watch his knee.
Whoa.
Jeez.
The referee needs to call potentially dangerous there, guys.
You can see Atwood's face in the one little scramble.
Oh, man.
He jumped down and twisted. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't see a little injury time there.
Okay, we have a win by Burek over Penny.
Sudden victory.
Yeah, takedown in overtime, and just a charging takedown, just pushed into him and got Penny off balance. Penny fell back on that and tried to recover. And so Virginia Tech goes down, but Kristen Boley won it. And that's another one, the second of the trifecta for the University of Maryland. So we're going to have Myers
2 for 2.
Yeah. So it's going to be
and Atwood. I got to believe Atwood grabbed his knee when he stood up. I didn't see. I was looking at the Burek match, but he had that leg twisted every way it wasn't designed to do.
What is that?
God created man. He didn't design your knee to go those directions. I take my word for it.
Okay, Telford's got 5 seconds to go. He's up by a score of 5-1 with riding time 6-1. So he's going to
got it in the bag there.
Yeah, and that's the end of it. Telford, a nice victory for him. Telford of Iowa at heavyweight.
Oh, Atwood doing a good. Threw Pelesi towards his back. Man, I'm surprised Atwood didn't get back points there. He elevated him.
He's got to get out quick. If he didn't get out right away, he ain't getting out.
Yeah, Atwood's good on top, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the leg set.
6.
Got it in there, hooked 7. In, he ain't getting out.
Now he's out Let's see how strong your knee is, Palese.
Potentially dangerous.
Where was that when it was going the other direction? No offense.
I don't think there's a stall call in the match where it necessarily shouldn't matter.
Right,
but,
yeah.
You know, Palese's going to have his shot on top, and he cannot give up an escape.
Here we go. Atwood starts on bottom. Palese on top. Here we go. Right outs. We got JT Felix.
Who was the winner?
Brown.
Yes,
I don't know.
Medberry.
I never did see.
Okay, Bruce, just want to let you know we don't have that result on 501. We didn't see that.
It's the only one we don't have.
Yeah, the only one we don't have. And
in the semis.
And you call us on it. So,
quarterfinals.
Sorry about that, but we are going to be getting
It'll come up on the screen
up.
or in the print. So, boy, 7 seconds, 25 seconds. Atwood needs to get up and out. Palese's hard on them knees. Atwood, boy, just get that leg free. Palese has his wrist or his ankle hooked with his elbow. And
all Palese's got to do is stay locked in here.
Oh, there you go. He's got a Atwood.
Yep,
that's it.
That's ball game. Atwood's
Purdue.
going to go through there.
The big win for Atwood, correct? For Purdue. Purdue gets the semifinal.
That's a big win for Purdue in a sense. I think they almost got blanked on the backside.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, we've got some exciting matches with wrestlers that we like out here. We've got Coons from Michigan wrestling right in front of us on mat number 5, and on the other side,
that's Eric Thompson.
One of our other favorites, and that is Connor Medberry of the University of Wisconsin. So let's take a look at who they're wrestling against and bring up on that. Telford won that one.
Yep.
He was up about 5-1 right at the end. I don't know what the final score is. And Connor Medberry of Wisconsin, he is wrestling JT Felix of Boise State.
Broncos 2-1. Right, Felix leads.
Okay, and then over here with Coons, we've got him against Thompson, and that's Eric Thompson of Grandview.
That's 5-3 already in favor of the true freshman, Coon. Eric Thompson's been in the Midlands, I think, every year he could come.
Yeah.
He's been here quite a few years, but this Coon, wow, what a good-looking freshman, huh? Like Tom said earlier, just doesn't know he's not supposed to win, you know? Thompson will throw you, so.
This is a nice little match because they both like this position.
Yeah, they do. That kind of over the top bear hug.
That little over
body
under,
lock.
let's see, you got yours, I got mine, let's see who gets it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Eric Thompson, I've met his dad. He's about the only other guy that's almost as big as Tom Erickson in here. He's got a dad that's a heavyweight.
Medberry got a couple escapes in the second period, first period, second period. Felix.
That's going to be fun. Oh, Medberry Felix. Oh, that's going to be good. That'll be a barn burner there, guys. And then the far mat 518, we got James against Spencer Meyer.
Look at that shot. Oh, my goodness.
On Medberry. He's definitely the taller of the two, so he might have some leverage. Although that, Medberry's deceivingly tall, I think. I mean, he's stocky. He's got a good build. Coon starts on top. Eric Thompson up to his feet. Thompson needs to get out. Denny or not. Coon throws Thompson down to the ground. Thompson back up to his feet. They aren't quite out of bounds yet. 1 minute, 44 seconds to go, and they go out of bounds. They've got a fresh restart with Thompson starting on the bottom. Coon on top from Michigan. Freshman from Michigan, so. And we got 1 minute, 39 seconds to go. Second period. Thompson up to his feet again. Intentional release there. Kicks him loose. We got 5-4, 129. Medberry still trails Felix from Boise State Broncos.
I just want to let Bruce know that we're going to be getting the updated brackets in just a couple minutes, and that should have the result on that match number 501, or at least I'm hoping it will. So we're going to post that. If you aren't downloading the brackets, I'll take a look at it, or Steve will or Tom will take a look at it, and we'll let you know in just a few minutes.
Myers and James still scoreless down there. Minute 4 seconds go in the first period. Collar tie between Coon and Thompson. Eric Thompson, the nephew, I believe, of Tolley.
Yes.
Thompson.
Medberry in a position to score. Joe Shuck, nothing, go out of bounds.
Tolley winning a national title back in the day for Nebraska Cornhuskers, I believe. And going on to win a bronze medal in the Worlds. This will be his nephew, Eric, taking on the freshman heavyweight phenom, we're calling him right now, because...
Well, you got to say he's a phenom.
He is.
He's undefeated. Right here, he's looking to get into the semifinals, number 3 seed.
Thompson's no walk in the park. He's tough. He's dangerous, too.
They wrestle
they both
well
can
in
throw.
the same positions.
They do, don't they?
They like the same positions. When
it's dangerous.
Just something like that, you got to go with Thompson a little bit. I'd like to see Kuhn in there, but you got to go with Thompson.
The experience
of wrestling that same position when it counts.
Okay, over on mat number 2, Felix is leading Connor Medbury by a score of 4-3 there. We've got 2 minutes to go in the third period.
Medbury starts on top and leads as well. Or 12, pardon me. Like you said, Felix from Boise State leads. Kuhn and Thompson. There's Thompson. Yeah, they both love that throw. Now, there you were. Nice. There you are. Oh, Thompson almost had it there. Third period. Kuhn starts down. Grant Turner and Nick Mitchell in the corner there. Grant Turner wrestled for Iowa State. Nick Mitchell from Iowa. And
shot.
Yeah, wow. He's mobile for a big, tall kid. He can move. Here comes Kuhn. He comes out. He comes out now and has a 2-point lead now, 6-4. Collar tie between
Myers in on a shot in the second period, late in the second, got the leg up against James.
Oh, ill-advised throw there by Thompson. And a slip, and Kuhn gets the takedown, and now up 8-4.
Absolutely opposite of what we just talked about. Talking about experience.
Yeah.
The guy with the experience forces a throw and gives up a takedown where he's got he's down by 2 takedowns.
And Kuhn was just smart enough. He stepped back and kind of let Thompson slide through on that move and just fall to his stomach, belly out, and picked up the 2, and now leads by 4.
Okay, Connor Medbury has 1 minute left. He's behind by a score of 5-3. He's got 1 minute left to get that takedown to tie this thing up. Their riding time is not a factor, will not be a factor. But and there's a shot in by Felix to go after him.
Off. I don't know. I'm surprised that could be 2. He's got like a little half whiz. He's got to pick that foot up off the mat.
The main thing is they're using up. Felix is using up time, and that's what he wants to do. And there it is. So it's now 7-3 for Felix.
Wow.
You know what? Felix is. That's a bad matchup for Madbury.
Yeah.
That's an overgrown 97-pounder. Not a nice movement, low shots, everything else.
Pretty flexible.
Flexible, quick. Bad matchup for Madbury. You know what? You put 20 pounds on Felix, Medbury handles him.
Yeah.
Just that one little, 10, 20 pounds slows him down.
Okay, we got a quick escape by Medbury there. That makes it 7-4, but time is running out. 21 seconds to go.
Eric Thompson doing everything he can to try to get a takedown here against Kuhn, but Kuhn knows he's up by 3, plus riding time barely. He's got 1 minute, 2 seconds of riding time, so smart wrestling there by Kuhn to keep it above the 1 minute mark. Thompson needs to take some shots. He's doing some reach shots, but Kuhn could get hit for some stall, maybe a stall here, but nice hips there by Kuhn at the end.
Wow.
Big takedown there by the freshman from Michigan. It'll be 11-5 at the end with 1 minute, 10 seconds of riding time. Wow, Kuhn moves on. He is good.
Boy, you got to like that.
I tell you.
Okay, and we also have a win for Felix over there at Boise State over one of our favorites, Connor Medbury. Shows how good both of those wrestlers are. And like you guys said, I think Felix just had Medbury's number. I think that's what happened here. Both of them very talented heavyweights.
Yeah, they are.
You look at it according to the seeds, the right guy won.
Right.
That's a 4-5. So seed-wise, the right guy won that match. But like I said, I'm with you, Greg. I like him. I like his potential, but that's the type of kid you got to get over the hump with.
Right. The last Musketeer is out there on the far side, and that's Myers of the University of Maryland. He's going against James.
Yeah.
That is Ernest James of Edinburgh. And let's see what happens. Let's see if Maryland can keep their streak up. They've got the win by Jimmy
just
Shepard.
Tied it.
Yeah,
tied it.
Tied
1-1. Edward James gets out, so he tied it up.
Sheptock, Boley, and this is the last one.
Right, and we are in the third period on this match.
Sure,
so.
That escape was huge there for James. Myers not able to ride James out, so we're tied up. 1 minute, just about 1 minute, 5 seconds.
There's a shot in by
Myers.
Nice shot. Passed it by, dropped on an ankle, picked him.
Yep. And James just turned around and kind of dove outside, but Myers just kept holding those ankles, and again, on those new rules and stuff, easy decision by the referee to give the 2 points. That gets them up there now by a score of 3-1. We still have a minute to go, though, so it's not over yet.
Exactly. So 1 minute to go. 1 minute and 3 seconds to go in the third period. 3-1's the score.
Right, and the riding time is set at 0. How many matches after 7 minutes they end up with riding time being 0?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Okay.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, well,
it happens.
It's not there wasn't riding, but they both had the equal amount.
That's one he shouldn't have wasted right there.
Oh boy!
Big throw down there.
Myers just lifts up James, lifts him up off the ground, all 250 some pounds or whatever.
You gotta kick him here. You can't risk this.
Oh, he's going to do it again. He's going to try just lift him.
Gotta work return. It's all the rule states. He's got to make an attempt to return him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that first warning, Spencer got warned right. He just stood there.
Yeah,
then he worked on the lifters, but by the rule, all you got to do is work to return. Work to return.
They go out of bounds back to the center. Okay, you're listening to Takedown. This is Greg Zaffros along with Steve Foster and the crew that we have here.
Yeah.
And our good friend Tom over on my left, and we're enjoying these heavyweight bouts. You have a little bit of experience with that, Tom Erickson.
He was great.
One of the best heavyweights.
He really was. He was phenomenal. Tom threw.
He might get a riding time point here.
Oh, and Myers continues to lift his opponent up and slam him to the mat. James.
Short time. Don't take the penalty here. No, he just
lets him go 3-2.
3 seconds left.
Yeah, and he won 2 seconds short on riding time.
Yeah, it was.
And it ends that way.
But they got him
sloppy. Yeah.
As I said, there's not going to be any asterisks after that. But technically,
in the books.
And that planning-wise, that was not a good way to end it. But we did get that trifecta through all three.
Yeah, you did.
Yes,
Maryland. Yep.
Make it through to the semifinals. We congratulate them on that. It's a great program out there, and they're certainly showing it here.
Yes, they are.
So that's the end of that round. We should be getting in just a few minutes the updated bracket sheets from our good friend Jeff Kreider, who just took my flash drive in order to download it. So we're going to get back to you. Remember, about 5:01, we have to look and see if the results are there for Bruce. And we want to thank everybody for listening in here. I don't know how much longer we're going to go. It's already after 10 o'clock here. And
Welsh Ryan Arena.
I think we're all
emptying
done
out. I saw a lot of people a little bit ago on their cell phones. I think they were all ordering pizza.
Yeah. Right.
Well, they're all heading to the favorite pizza parlor.
Yeah. The two matches that are out there now are consolation matches. We'll give you the results of those if we can in just a minute. But I want to take an opportunity to thank all of you for listening to our broadcast. We've had a great time doing it. It's been great wrestling. The Midlands tournament is always an outstanding tournament. And we know already from the results today that we're going to have some fantastic semifinals tomorrow. Wrestling starts tomorrow at 11:30, is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to check and see if we can verify that. Check the website, the Northwestern website, to verify it, but I believe it's at 11:30. If that's the case, we usually start if we can half an hour in advance. So look for us at 11 o'clock, and we'll be the same crew there pretty much. We'll also have Dan McCool back with us.
Yeah, Big Dan McCool, long time.
Yeah, we're going to have a sumo match
for the Des Moines Register.
Right, we're going to have a sumo match between him and Tom Erickson. And tomorrow, that's just
looking forward to it.
Purely for entertainment.
Yeah, Dan's a big man, but I know where I'm putting my money.
We have a possible pin over on the far side there, but we don't get it.
Yes, there it is, maybe.
Okay, that is it. Both of those consolation matches are over. We are done for today. This has been a great time.
I feel bad we couldn't give the results there, but we just didn't have it available to us.
Right.
Well, if I'm close to being correct, I could tell you that Iowa ends that round. I don't think they had a bonus. No, they had one bonus point, so they're going to, with St. John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's 103 points. You give them 57 points onto the 46 they already have.
They're in the driver's seat.
103 points.
Right.
They're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get more.
Good luck to the kids. The other teams
after the semifinal round without pushing them in, in the finals tomorrow.
Right.
Huge tournament for the Hawkeyes. But everybody here, listeners around the Chicagoland area and the Coliseum, I want to warn you to be careful out there. There might be some hostile people in Chicago. The Bears were defeated today, I believe.
Boy.
Is that right, Big Tom, by the Packers?
Yep.
Here at Soldiers Field. So.
I heard they drove down the field the last 2 or 3 minutes. The Packers drove down the field.
Got it done, huh?
48-yard pass to Jordy Nelson or somebody.
Be careful. Going to be some hostile Bear fans in town. So.
And as I mentioned to you, we're going to stick around for just a little bit to give me some time to upload those brackets. And if you haven't downloaded them now, you'll have a little bit of time between now and 11 o'clock tomorrow to do that. Remember, you simply go to my website, which is my name, gregzafros.com/brackets.pdf. And if you've gotten them, I wouldn't mind it and I would appreciate it actually if you could get back to me and let me know that you have successfully looked at them and downloaded them and maybe even printed them out.
Now, when you do that, will that give us our filling game?
Well, I'm hoping it is, because that match would have ended about 10 or 12 minutes or so before Jeff took that. So we're waiting on that one for. That was Bruce that asked for that.
Yeah,
right?
match number 463, filling game.
Yeah, that was 501. You wanted match number
463, maybe, or was it 463?
Oh no, we had match 5. Let's see, 501. That was the Brown versus Abunda.
Oh yes, yep.
Abunda or whatever it is. But it was who was it who asked us for a filling game? But we're going to check on how he's doing as well.
Stolen from Columbia wrestled filling game unattached.
Right. So we're going to stick around for another 5 or 10 minutes or so, unless Scott Casper pulls the plug on us, which is.
If he turns off the electricity, guess what, guys? Our equipment runs on electricity. So then the party's over.
Yeah. So we like hanging around anyway. In fact, I think Steve Foster will not go home tonight. I think he's just going to stay here
just might sing
way
down upon the Swanee River.
That's it.
Everybody throws stuff at me.
Yeah.
Well, they got the mats in the back room over there. They can just turn the lights off. You can just lay down on those.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Get ready for the next day. I got a feeling, Tom, you've taken a nap on a few mats in your day over the years.
Unfortunately.
One way or another, either as a coach or an athlete.
A few more than I would have wanted to be honest with you.
Right.
They're not quite as comfortable as an actual mattress, are they?
Right. And I want to also mention what I said earlier today, that we really had a nice crowd here today.
It was
and
a
we'll
good group.
And we'll have a better crowd tomorrow as well. And, you know, you have to remember that the people who come here to watch this are the ones who help pay for it and allow us to have this. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, why don't you plan to come out tomorrow and watch it? I'll tell you, it's a real easy place to get to. I live in West Virginia. I just I pull out of my driveway and go down the street 3 blocks and I make a left, and 650 miles later I'm right here. So it couldn't be easier. Yeah. And so if I can do it, you can as well. So
and you do drive, don't you, Greg?
I do drive.
Yeah, so.
No.
Yeah, I had that point
driver's license still.
So,
okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Your points were wrong or not, Tom?
I was wrong. I'd probably have to look at it, but listening to it, first place with Iowa with 112 points.
112.
Okay.
Wow. Second place, Illinois with 57.
Oh, boy.
Illinois with 57.
So almost a double. Almost a double.
Yeah.
That's some quick calculations on your part, Steve.
Yeah.
And you still have your shoes on, too, you know?
Yeah, I just put them back on.
Oh, okay.
They were off.
Yeah,
but there's still wrestling fans. You know, there's wrestling fans everywhere. I see a wrestling fan right over the scoreboard.
Yeah, there's a fan over there.
There's a wrestling fan up by the speakers.
Yeah,
there's wrestling fans.
This guy is a real stand-up comic. I got to say that. So, okay, the arena is emptying out, and we're usually about the last ones to leave because we have to pack up our equipment as well. But actually, we don't mind hanging around here.
Yeah. Oh, they're kicking us out. They're telling me we got to go.
Yeah, they're actually cleaning up. They were about to take that bag of candy that we got in my water, so what can I say? But again, I'm going to stick around here, at least hopefully, so to get that bracket for you.
Final bracket?
Yeah, and that way you can print it out tomorrow before the semifinals, and you'll be all set. And it'll be there also tomorrow.
Then you'll have exactly what we have right here.
That's right.
So as long as you put ink in your printer.
That's right. Well, actually, yeah, we won't have it printed out, so if you take it home and print it.
Yeah, they'll have a better copy than us. They'll have
a
real-time copy of ours.
Oh.
I have to scribble and scratch on mine.
Yeah, and your scribbling is terrible too. You know, can't.
I'd have
can't
to agree with you.
Okay.
If I didn't write it, I definitely wouldn't know what it is.
Okay, I see Jeff Kreider coming here. I think we're going to have it, and I'm wondering if he's going to print the team score for us in a minute as well. So hang on, folks. We're going to get you that updated bracket in just a second, and Jeff says he's going to get us the team score as well, and we're going to see. We're going to have a little quiz here to see how close that Tom Erickson got on predicting that final score.
He's got pretty good mathematics. He went to
know.
Oklahoma State.
I know.
Coached at Purdue.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, so you got to give me Purdue credit, not the Oklahoma State credit.
Yeah.
You like their scholastic credentials a little more.
Okay, well, listen, he can count without taking his shoes off, and that's a lot better than you guys out in, well,
Iowa.
I won't say where.
Well, Iowa, we learned counting by going out and keeping track of the corn stalks in the fields.
That's right.
So we've
got the team score. Who wants to do it? While I'm upgrading
Tom Erickson.
Okay, Tom Erickson. And
no
cheating on this. You got to tell us what you predicted and
what I predicted? Oh, wow. I had it written. What I have it written down, 112 to 57. But we'll go backwards. We'll go from 10 on in. Yeah, and I'll add a little caveat what they have front side, back side. In 10th place is Northwestern with 34 points, with 2 people in the championship and 2 people on the back side of the bracket. In a tie for 8th place, Purdue had a couple nice wins in that round, and Columbia. Columbia won the Ivies.
Atwood had a good win.
36.5 points with both of them, with 1 wrestler in the championship and 4 in the backside. So they're even up across the board. In a tie for 6th place is Wisconsin and Northern Iowa with 39 points. So the difference in this one, Northern Iowa's got 2 in the front side of the bracket and 4 on the backside, where Wisconsin's got 1 on the front side and 4 on the backside.
Wow, and the head up was Cologne beating Graf.
Yes,
so that had to.
That was that. That's a big switch right there.
Yeah,
that's a 7,
kept it a tie. So
7-8 point switch. 5th place is Michigan with 44 points. They have 2 in the front side and 5 in the back side. And then you come in with 4th place. Maryland had a great round, led by the three
trifecta, right?
The trifecta, the 3 Musketeers with 46.5 points. Just as we said, we had the 3 in the front side and 2 on the backside. So that trifecta is going to carry them a long way. And if they keep doing their business, they're going to keep them in the top 5 team. A little bit of a rough round, but still in 3rd place is Edinburgh with 52 points. 2 people on the front side and 5 on the backside. So they got a lot of firepower still. In 2nd place, Illinois with 57 points with 3 in the championship bracket, 4 in the backside. And in 1st place, Iowa with 112 points.
Wow.
Almost had a clean sweep of that with 9 in the championship bracket and the 1 in the losers bracket. And the one that lost was
close. Sheptock and Brooks.
Sheptock and Sheptock. That's one of the 3 that we would have picked. We had to pick against the Hawkeyes here on that one, but we want to get that trifecta through with Maryland, so they got that through. So, nice job. Even with the 9 through, I got to think that's pretty close to being a record.
That's pretty close.
As far as getting 9 guys into 9 of your point getters into the semifinals.
We will have to get back in the archives and find out the facts on that.
Okay, we're going to check this out while I'm looking at these brackets. It does have the results of, I believe it was about 501, and that was Brown against Obenader, and that was won by Brown, wrestling unattached, and he won that one by a score of 6-1. So was that Bruce Beasley who asked for that? And that was the score. So the win there by Brown.
Does it give these here, Filling Game? Maybe
okay, we're going to check out Filling Game. Filling Game is at 141, and he's in the Consolations, right?
Yeah, Consolations. Yeah,
okay, we're going to
463.
Move up to 141. I have uploaded these already to the internet, so you can get
Tom
them yourself.
Erickson's just.
I'm just talking.
What do you got? What do you think?
I'm just looking at the team scores and all the different team scores. I'm looking at Indiana. It's sitting at 33 points in 11th place. They're missing Adam Chalfant.
Yeah, Chalfant, the big heavyweight.
The number 7 ranked kid in the country.
Yeah, Chalfant's tough.
If he's in this tournament, I got to figure he's worth a point or 2.
Oh, man.
So that would have put. I'm just kind of looking through the what-if points, who's getting the front side, who's in the back side, all kinds of fun stuff. And, they're missing Chalfant. I got to think Chalfant helps them a ton.
Oh, he would be a point getter.
Okay, to come up with an answer to a question that we had, Filling Game is still in it. He has won all his consolation matches. He's going to be wrestling Adam Kropp tomorrow of Princeton in the next round of the consolation matches. Kropp is tough. We've said all those Princeton wrestlers have been really good, but Filling Game was Adams State, wasn't that correct?
Yeah.
And that Adams State
unattached.
wrestling unattached, but but with Adams State. So filling game is still in it, and so when you asked for it, you got it. And I think that's the last bit of information we need to pass across. Is that correct,
I think
fellas?
you're right.
Yes,
Yep, we
sir.
can close her down for the night, Greg.
I think we can say goodbye, and actually I want to express the fact that it's been a pleasure for us to provide this to you, and as I've said throughout this thing, we hope you've had at least even half as much fun as we've had, because we've just had a ton of fun. So on behalf of Scott Casper, Dan McCool, Tom Erickson, Steve Foster, and myself, Greg Zafros, I want to thank you for listening today, and we will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Wrestling starts at 11:30. We start at 11. Is that? Okay, let's set it for 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, we can give our predictions.
Okay,
that's the fun
it.
part, giving our predictions.
Good night, wrestling fans from Takedown.
All right.